to ensure the specific circumstances that led to this accident could never happen again. Importantly, we went beyond to look comprehensively at our quality and manufacturing systems.
His testimony just hours after word that a new whistleblower is accusing the company of mishandling faulty parts. Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal says it's time for the Justice Department to pursue prosecution. President Biden set to make another move on immigration.
The Department of Homeland Security will take action designed to help U.S. citizens with non-citizen spouses keep their families together.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre ahead of executive action to allow certain illegal immigrants a legal pathway to remain in the U.S. if they're married to a U.S. citizen and have lived here for at least 10 years without having to return to their home country to apply. In New York City, a man from Ecuador who entered the U.S. illegally in 2021 is now in custody, accused of raping a 13-year-old girl in a park last week, charged with multiple counts. There's a statewide outage of the 911 system in Massachusetts. It's not clear yet why.
Calls are not going through. We've been in touch with the state and with all the relevant officials to work on getting this resolved.
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, police telling anyone who has an emergency to call a direct line to local police or use a fire alarm box. Several years ago, Massachusetts had sporadic 911 outages. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? The sound of water being poured on 800-degree rocks. If you were here in this sauna, you'd be so hot you wouldn't have the energy to move. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. Besides, after a long ride, a helmet sweat is way more satisfying. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without even breaking a sweat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
You know, since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been committed to supporting our nation's first responders and veterans. They support America's heroes like U.S. Army Major Jonathan Turnbull. Now, Major Turnbull sustained devastating injuries at the hands of an ISIS suicide bomber. Tunnel to Towers gave him a specially adapted smart home designed for his needs. Join Tunnel to Towers. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month so this great work continues. Their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire. And the mechanical mangler at the controls, it's Flounder. What is this, Tuesday? That's right, we got a special guest, too. Look out. Rocking and rolling. 303, and here's the number, 404-741-1230. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Clay Travis, who just got done doing the show right down the hall, which, by the way, is great for us. I bet you probably are so tired and say, oh, geez, I got to go on that guy again. I want to go over to the ballpark.
I love Atlanta. I appreciate you guys giving me the hospitality. My boys are, I've talked about this before with you, monster Atlanta Braves fans.
Yeah, you have 2 today. 2 with you?
3 of my boys with me.
Oh, 3 today?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought one was on a college trip. Or is
he went to go visit Emory.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You mentioned
and he
Emory,
went to
right.
Georgia the day before. He's going to be a rising junior, so we're sort of in that college universe tour. And so he was with his mom earlier, but I had the 2 youngest with me at breakfast over here at Goldberg's. The battery's pretty fantastic. Yeah, battery's pretty fantastic, and so I can come here, do the show, take my family to Braves games, and we're going to go tonight and then tomorrow for the matinee, earlier start, and then I'll head back up to Nashville because I'm playing.
You're doing the golf tournament.
Yeah.
You lucky bastard. I mean, I used to be able to do stuff like that as a younger man. See, you're living my life tonight. Oh, man.
I'm
what a great life. Let me get this straight. See, you go down to Atlanta, do a little show, and then, go to the ballpark, go a couple of games, play a little golf. And by the way, you're freaking everywhere. This guy, like 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing my show 6 a.m. I got the Fox News on. You're liable to be on with that naughty little Dana Perino. At 10 o'clock in the morning or something, and then you're doing your show, and then they'd be on, swear to God, you'll be on with, 7 o'clock tonight with
True. I've got a home cam. I'll be on tomorrow morning for people who are starting their day with Fox and Friends. I'll be on with them tomorrow morning. Yeah, I mean,
congratulations. I mean, seriously. I mean, what a tribute. What a great thing you got going. I'm really happy for you.
It's a super privilege to be able to say exactly what you think.
Yeah.
In an era when so many people feel like they can't.
The radio business is not what it was even 10 years ago.
Yeah, I was reading about that because, I came out of sports talk radio.
Yeah.
And I remember when I left, and I bet you've kind of heard about this too, they said what's interesting is there's nobody behind you. Meaning,
right, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, the Dan Patricks, for people who are sports fans, the Colin Cowherds of the world. And then I was in that group, I think. I'm younger than those guys, but they would say the sports talk radio national market behind you is basically a desert. And even I'm afraid in local, which has been very good, I'm afraid that there's going to be more challenges coming in. And anyway, that's kind of the business that we're in. But it's changing, and I don't know that it's going to be necessarily for the better.
I don't have a lot of confidence in because of social media, and I've said before, the cell phones, yesterday's cigarettes. I mean,
yeah.
And by the way, I know you were doing this today. We're going to talk about a lot about this today. These freaking Democrats, and especially the White House, is now the official king of disinformation, which is exactly what they accuse Republicans and conservatives of doing, is spreading disinformation about that. And they are the kings of it. In fact, was it MSNBC that's now showing edited footage where they don't show Putty Tat leading them away by the wrist so they can say, well, it's all fake and edited? Oh, my, we saw it. It's in our eyes,
Yeah, they came after me last week, NBC News did, because I shared a clip from the G7.
Yeah.
And because I shared a clip just recently, as you just mentioned, of Obama having to take Biden's hand, basically, and lead him off the stage. And
getting sued or fined if you put it on your thing? Isn't that what's going on?
I think the desire, first of all, the concept of a cheap fake.
I don't even know what that is. She made it up.
I think it's somebody who's trans pretending to be pretending to be a woman. That's to me a cheap fake. But they're trying to coin new language. Did you ever hear people talk about misinformation or disinformation?
No such word.
They keep
it's like
making
insurrection.
things up.
No one ever used the word insurrection in a sentence until the Democrats said, "Oh my God, it's in the Constitution. We can get them for it."
That's right.
That's when it happened.
It's calculated. They're smarter about language than I think Republicans and conservatives are. They're more diabolical about it. They put their language, illegal immigrant. Yeah. Now you're supposed to say, you can't even say homeless anymore. It's unhoused. They constantly
future resident,
are changing everything. Yeah.
Anyway, it's unbelievable. 308, by the way, our number. You're going to be here for a few months. Oh, by the way, let me ask you this. And we got newsy stuff, and you've been doing it all day. Do you go to batting practice when you go to the game? Do you have a chance? I don't even know when batting practice is. Pete Davis, do you know when they do batting practice anymore with the Braves?
Yeah, he's looking over his shoulder. We do sometimes go. A lot of times these guys don't do normal batting practice because they have the cages down underneath and they can do that.
Yeah.
But I was always in the upper decks as a kid, going to go see games. And so going to batting practice was big for me because they'd let you down to the lower level and you could try to chase around home run balls or foul balls or whatever it was and also get an autograph, which was super cool. So I still don't mind being in the park early. I think it's fun when the wet now. Sometimes it can be 180 degrees.
If you're in the sun and you're not moving.
I took my boys. They were tough on Saturday, and that was a 4:00 start. And it was 96, and we were in the sun, and they were like, "Dad, I thought you told us we were in the shade." I was like, "Sorry about that. I bought tickets to the wrong place."
But they were under the concourse for an hour.
That's right. They were they literally called the big ass fans.
I remember Pete, you were there one time. We were doing live broadcast from Braves Park, and it was a day where they were allowing little leaguers and Babe Ruth guys to catch balls in the outfield. And I was remarking the fact they missed almost all of them. People don't realize. You don't think you can catch a fly ball. It says when you're in a big league ballpark, all of a sudden, man, they were going, oh crap, and it was missing them by a foot. It was unbelievable, the differences in it.
Yeah, I got to do a halftime contest at the Tennessee Titans game about 20 years ago, and they put the jugs machine out. It's not a direct off the punter punt. But I think it was
spinning.
Oh, yeah. It was a 25 and a 40. Now, I caught him because I'm an amazing athlete. But the number of guys that get out there, and you always teach, like I did Little League, but you always try to teach don't ever make your first step in.
Right.
Because you can never get back
can't go
fast
back.
enough to
Yeah.
recover. And the number of guys who, when they see it come off, their first read on in the air, and same thing with the fly balls, is you go in and then you end up trying to sprint back and you can't get back far enough.
Yeah.
The first thing you're taught is you take 2 steps back and then you.
I was just remembering about the batting, watching batting practice. In 1984, I was with the ABC in Chicago on TV, and they put me into sports at Wrigley Field. Covered every home game at Wrigley Field
that's
the year
awesome.
they went to won the division.
Yeah.
Lost
to the Padres that year, right?
Bull Durham, Leon Durham with a Gatorade Show glove between his legs. But anyway, we used to stand around the batting cage with Jim Fry, the manager, telling stories. There's nothing like baseball managers telling their stories. Oh my God! It was just you could do that all day, every day. And after the game, he had a aluminum tub, iced down of Rolling Rock beer.
Oh, that's awesome. There are 3 things that I've gotten to do as a sports guy that I think are amazing for everybody to do. One is stand and watch batting practice.
Yeah.
Because even if you're watching from the stands, seeing how hard those guys swing and hearing what it sounds like in close proximity when they make contact. I mentioned that I'm doing the live. If you stand next to a pro golfer and watch them hit a golf ball
and hear it and watch the trajectory, my God,
television doesn't do it justice. If you can stand there, and then the other one is courtside for an NBA game. For a high level athleticism, you don't get a sense for how big those dudes are unless you're actually there. Because even if you see a guy who's like 6, even a small guy is like 6'4", right, on an NBA court. And so seeing how big those guys are, those 3 things in the world of sports. And obviously, I'd probably add the 4th. If you can do hockey and watch somebody really get checked, you recognize those guys are beasts.
I played with guys back in the 60s with no helmets. Nobody wore a helmet.
Yeah.
And by the way, my claim to fame, are you going to put it on my Kimmer bingo card? I'm the only guy in the room who hit a home run at Wrigley Field. And it was at batting practice in 1984. And I was wearing a tan suit and wingtips. And it went over the fence by about an inch.
That's unbelievable.
It was
That's
not
a
on
big deal.
Waveland Avenue.
I think I need to see video of that to
I
believe
agree.
that it's
Never
true.
happened. It never.
I don't know that I buy into this happening. That's an incredible accomplishment if you
that
did
was
it.
unbelievable. Well, I was 34 years old.
Even if you're 34, most people can't hit a baseball.
I was also running marathons, and I was, in fact, Mackie Shillstone, the guy who trained Michael Spinks to win the heavyweight championship, I was his first training victim when he was at Tulane University. Anyway, sorry. He's all
Do you believe that he really hit a home run? Do you guys believe that? I don't know. I need to see video.
I wish
He's a man of many tall tales.
I got no talents. I got
a Wrigley Field home run is a pretty big deal in BP.
I'll tell you what.
Even if you weren't in wingtips, if you could have been dressed up in the Andre Dawson's uniform fraud.
I know. I swear the guy was a damnedest
It was
thing.
in the basket. It was in the basket.
I think possible. I also caught a foul ball in the press box in Pittsburgh at the Pirates Stadium.
Well, the foul ball I can buy. That doesn't stun me. But a home run, I would have bet 100 to 1 that you would not hit a home run at Wrigley Field.
Listen, I can't thank you enough for being here. Is there anything on your mind before you go? I know you're going to be on. You're probably not on the air Thursday with a golf thing. Are you back Friday or do you?
I'll be back with our show on Friday. I'm going to the Braves game for the matinee early start, which will be fun tomorrow, and then live, and then I'll be back on Friday. So if you're watch out if I'm teeing off.
Listen, congratulations on your success. You're welcome here anytime, and always a thrill.
Y'all are great to us. You guys keep killing it.
And where's Buck? What is he doing? An undercover secret hit job? Work for the CIA
Buck is down in Miami for sure.
Clay Travis, my friends. Kimmer Pete Flounder, Clay 314-1063. Look out! Here we go. Stand by.
Atlanta radio legends collide on Extra 1063. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the Extra 1063 app.
Hey, it's Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Cub Cadet. The move to a zero-turn lawnmower is an exciting one for any homeowner. And if you're looking to step up from your current machine, a zero-turn mower from Cub Cadet and Howard Brothers is a great place to start. Ask yourself if saving time, sidestepping obstacles, and improving your overall mowing experience sounds like a step up from your current situation. If so, be sure to check out the full Cub Cadet line of innovative zero turns. Cub Cadet is sold at Howard Brothers locations in Alpharetta, Athens, Dorval, Duluth, Lula, and Oakwood. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Howard Brothers and Cub Cadet.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family. And 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. Just recently, a friend told me they hear Bruce talking on 680 The Fan. They asked me if he was as nice as he appeared to be on air. I smiled and without any hesitation answered, he's even nicer in person. I'm Amy Risley. I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
About a lucky man who made the grade.
Oh my goodness.
And though the news was rather sad,
Little Beatles section here for you with the Killer Pete and Fallounder.
well, I just had to laugh.
2010, John Lennon's handwritten lyrics to the Beatles song A Day in the Life sold for $1.2 million at Sotheby's in New York. It's a double-sided sheet of paper, notes written in felt marker and blue ink. Also contains some corrections and other notes penned in red ink. 1.2 million. And by the way, for the record, that came from Flounder's music history list. I also had that on my history list that I finished this morning. Well before dawn, along with a birthday list and all the stuff and all my notes and everything in my notebook, which I have all my notebook and all my stuff, my handwritten notes, and even all the things I always have, so I bring with me at all times that I always have, except today because they're not here because I left them on my stupid ottoman. God, crap.
Why
hate
would
that.
you go to all that work and leave it there on your own?
Gee, I don't know. Why did I wonder? God. I freaking, and it's not, it's not the end of the world. Who cares? But I'm going to something bad.
I don't know. The deterioration in the quality of the history notes has really been noticeable in the last
3
or 4 shows.
I really haven't pulled up my end of the bargain, have I?
By the way, I need to congratulate you. And Flounder pointed this out to me as we were texting back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
You managed during a 5-minute Clay Travis thing to bring it back to you 17 times, and you worked in. The social media phones are the new cigarettes line.
I wanted to
You worked in your Wrigley Field,
Because
and then you worked in the home run at Wrigley Field, and you got to work in the infamous Mickey Schultzstein Greenberg, whoever the hell he was, for the 1800th time, when nobody cares. And you did all 3 of those in one interview with another person.
Well, you just don't get that anywhere.
I mean, that takes talent.
Poor bastard. He's going to say, I'm never doing that again. I'm never going in there again. He's such a nice man, too. Seems like such a nice fellow. I have to put him through the Kimmer treatment.
Hey, one thing he was pointing out, you don't until you're right up next to a golfer hitting a ball. Or
the you saw it at the Masters.
No, well, that was amazing how hard and fast they hit that ball and how far it goes. You can't see it; it's so fast. But what surprised me when I first started being the sideline reporter for the Falcons, the first time I stood on the sideline during an exhibition game, the amount of power that those suckers in the trenches hit each other every single play is like sumo wrestlers coming at each other, and you just don't get that on television when you're right there and you hear the grunting and the pain and all the bam when they hit each other with those pads on.
One year I did the sideline reporting for the New Orleans Saints every Sunday, and you're absolutely right. The first time when Chuck Muncie, when he scored his 1,000th yard to set a record for the Saints or something or other, and came over and we're all congratulating him, and he almost knocked me over just coming up to say hi on the sideline. It was unbelievable. And those linemen, oh my God. I mean, you can hear the crunch, you can feel the crunch of those guys. Just brutal.
Any stupid thought I had in my head that I could be a Billy Rickman and go out there at my size and catch some balls, no, would never happen. One hit, it would be over.
Oh man, I mean, it's a car wreck. It's being in a car wreck every time you're hit. Yeah. 322. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. That's okay. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. All right. So I left my stupid notebook with everything there. And by the way, I also drove. I left the house today to go get something. I forgot even what it was. But I wanted to check out that Maxwell's Road being closed up near where the amphitheater is. It's going to be a freaking nightmare. Oh, my God.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry. That's all. It's done.
Okay. My friend here at Lake Oconee, who just started listening to the show a week ago, says, I hope to God that Robert Plant, Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson concert gets here quick. Because I am tired of hearing
I'm just telling you. And don't forget Allison Krauss. So there you are. All right. 323, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's only Tuesday. Holy smokes. Braves are back in town. They won last night, didn't they? I think
they did.
Well, yes, they did. In fact, their bats came back to life. I think Pete Davis will have holy crap. They didn't come back to life.
Twice,
2 hits.
That's all they needed.
Oh, my God. Well, then good pitching, I guess. It'll come
Well,
out.
they're not hitting with runners in scoring position. They were 1 for 9 again last night.
Yeah. And there's no explaining any time a team goes into a slump or has a thing or great players all of a sudden can't do it. It's just, it's life.
At the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no getting around it. Things in your head and trying to press or whatever, just little the little tensions in your little teeny muscles that make a difference. What the hell? It's life. And pretty exciting, but I think they're a solid, good team. I think we'll be okay. Anyway, I don't know. What do I know? Pete Davis, Holy Crap at Sports after 5. 324, Karine Bajin-Trashin, the Podium Princess, the Surly Temple, the Rainbow Face Liar. If you haven't heard these, Flounder, let's play a couple of these sound bites here of Rajin Bajin-Trashin, who is now pretending that what you saw with your own eyes was all fake about the president being led around like an idiot. We got a thing here with a Flounder there with it. with the first cut on the
live.
Yeah.
They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith. And some of your news organizations have been very clear, have stressed that the right-wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation. And so we see this, and this is something coming from your part of the world, calling them cheap fakes and misinformation. Instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country, we're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos, and it is, again, done in bad faith.
Deep fakes, cheap fakes, bad faith videos, edited.
That's a lie.
She's lying through her teeth.
Every legitimate mainstream media posted those videos. Is she saying they're all liars?
And by the way, that video, I mentioned when Clay was here, the video of Putty Tat leading him around by the wrist is not available to be shown on broadcast outlets without paying a fee of like $600 every time you show it. And so the only people who can show it are like social media things who happen to capture it, but you can't. I mean, I think Glenn Beck was complaining that he'd have to buy it. If he wanted to put it on his broadcast or his whatever, he would have to pay $600 every time it shows or something like that. Again, and MSNBC edited their version of it to show that Biden was not leading him along, so you didn't see that angle. I mean, talk about disinformation, my God. Well, my other favorite flounder, we'll play cut number 2 here. The podium princess, Shirley Temple. Once again, people were complaining about the time at the Juneteenth celebration when President Stupid Face was in a complete trance, where everybody else was dancing and singing and having a good time, and he was frozen. And so she reacted this way.
Let's talk about Juneteenth. The president stood there listening to the music, and he didn't dance. Excuse me, I did not know not dancing was a health issue. That is a weird thing to actually flag when, if you look at the people who were around him, if you look at the expanded video of the people who were around him, they were not, there were some folks who were not dancing either.
I mean, these people are unbelievable. And for the record, some of the Fox News people saying these videos are not deep fakes or manipulated. What videos we've all seen, Biden freezing or looking lost, are deep fakes? I'd like to know if that's true. Senator Mike Lee says, I'm not being snarky here. If the president of the United States is being smeared by deep fakes, I'd like to know who they are and who's doing it and what they are. The White House calling legitimate video footage a deep fake is every bit as dangerous as a right-wing troller saying a deep fake is legitimate video footage. Here they go again. The people who are more responsible for disinformation than anybody in history is the United States of America at the White House. These are the worst people have ever been doing, and they're exactly what they're accusing the conservatives of doing. You see it with your own eyes, and they just deliberately lie about it and accuse you of faking it. I mean, the nerve of these people. The Hunter laptop, the Hillary emails, the Russian collusion. Everything has been a deep fake by the liberals to continue the lie for political purposes. Honestly, this is the worst. This last 8 years has been
war.
Yeah,
this is war. This isn't politics anymore. This is for the fate of your kids and grandkids. Get up and do something.
It's absolutely, I mean, the death of our, and again, they were playing some sound bites with Clay just before us, talking about how the liberals keep saying about, Donald Trump is going to be the death of our democracy. And they keep saying, we don't have a democracy. You don't even know what you're talking about. And plus, they're the ones who are killing the democracy by trying to stop one of the two candidates from being elected by not being able to vote for him. I mean, the irony is just astounding.
It's Orwellian.
God. Don't believe your eyes.
Don't believe your eyes and ears. Just believe what we tell you.
And then the fix is in. Here we go again. President Stupid Face, new policy, 500,000 non-citizen spouses, a couple of 100,000 children. And again, if you're here and you're married and so forth, and I mean, there's a special category. The law currently says if you're here illegally, but you married an American, you have to leave the country for 10 years before you can come back and apply for citizenship. Well, clearly, I mean, there ought to be some reasonable accommodation for things of a married couple who have children and stuff like that. Obviously, no one's going to, that's not a big deal. I don't think we have a problem with that. But now he's going to allow hundreds of thousands of more. And again, here we go. Oh, and by the way, there are 193 members of the United Nations. Okay, the entire United Nations of the world, 193 members. 177 of those countries have people coming to America for the open border. There are people coming into our country right now from 177 countries. So I guess they're all, looking for amnesty because of all the murders in 177 nations around the world? Thanks to the open borders. They have, what is it? There's something like 8 million undone documents yet to be fixed that they have meetings scheduled for 8 million immigrants who came over the border in the last 4 years. 8 million are still waiting to have their hearings, but they're here now. 8 million. Oh, God. 3:30, cover feet and flounder. Good Lord.
Hey, it's Tug. The Morning Extra has you covered from 6 to 10, and Kimmer's got you on the ride home.
This is amazing to me. Germany says if Benjamin Netanyahu sets foot in Germany, he's going to be under arrest.
Germany.
Just to be clear, they say, we need to follow the law. And he's been, of course, Netanyahu saying this is a distortion of reality. These prosecutors at the UN, what are they doing out of their freaking minds? And Germany has the balls to say if the top Jew comes into Germany, we're going to get you.
To be fair,
yes,
it's been German policy since 1932.
Well, they haven't. They're consistent. The people, you know where you stand.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
The warm air, the beautiful weather, and the sounds of baseball. It's got you thinking about hitting the road. And no matter where your adventures take you, Subaru of Gwinnett has a vehicle to get you there safely and in style. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2024 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right size SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. No matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Extra 106.3 listeners are falling in love with Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell.
Me and my wife now find our favorite sandwich place. That food over there was great.
Yeah, those rolls are so soft and sweet. I mean, it was just melt in your mouth. It was, and the steak was tender and juicy and flavorful. I can't say enough about it. It was very, very impressive.
It was so good.
Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner. Nucky'sHoagies.com.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, cpapsetc.com.
There we go.
Whoops.
Look out. Hey, Miss Bill, remember this from Stripes? When Howard, what's his name, is doing the class teaching English? And it says, all right, let's take our first lesson. To do, run, run. To do, run, run. Son of beach, shoot.
Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis, yeah.
So close.
Have either one of you been arrested? Are you a homosexual? Well, you mean flaming or no? But we are willing to learn. They do run, baby. Phil Spector, 2008. A Los Angeles hotel on this day filed a lawsuit against Phil Spector for failing to pay more than $100,000 in bills for lawyers and expert witnesses in his murder trial. It was the Westin Bonaventure Hotel, and they say that by the time Spector's trial ended with a hung jury, he owed him more than $100,000. I don't know why he would owe them for that. I guess that's maybe where he set up his camp or his headquarters for. I don't know. I don't know. Our birthday list: Blake Shelton, 48 years old, voice judge, and Gwen Stefani rebound. That turned out pretty good for him. When his little fatty girl, what's her name, the country singer girl, well, I really like her songs. I can't remember her name now. The little chubby girl who lost all that weight.
Lambert?
Yeah, Miranda Lambert. She has that beautiful little song. It's sad as hell. That little song about going back to the house where she lived and the little doggies buried in the backyard. Oh, God. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. The house where I live, and could I stop by the house and go to see the room where I did my homework? Oh, God, it's a beautiful song.
Stop it. It can make me cry.
No, I honestly, but it's beautifully done. I mean, it's just, I can't remember the damn name of it, but it's
She's got a great Christmas song.
Oh, she's a great singer. And I remember several years, 4, 5, 6 years ago, she was doing one of the award shows at Christmas time, and she came out in some sequined, like Christmas tree looking dress, and she weighed about 280 or so. Just looked awful. And then the next time you saw her, she had lost about 80 pounds and looked great. And that's when she apparently started cheating on her husband, Blake Shelton. And so that's when I think he put her stuff on the driveway or one night or something, and that was a fast split. And about 2 weeks later, he and Gwen Stefani were a thing. So the house where love built or something like that. Something like that. Anyway, that's Blake Shelton is 48 years old today. And our history list includes on this day in 1873, Susan B. Anthony was fined $100. That was a lot of money in 1873. Susan B. Anthony tried to vote in the 1872 presidential election between Ulysses S. Grant and a guy named Horace Greeley. Isn't he one who said, "Go West, young man"? I think yes. Horace Greeley said, "Go West, young man." Look at that. Boy, that came out of nowhere in the camera brain there. Pretty impressive for me. Anyway, Horace Greeley said, "Go West, young man," and she refused to pay the fine. Women could not vote in 1872, but they could vote in 1920 with a 19th Amendment. And it's a Chickenville True, so which is good, as it should be. 339. Kimmer Pete and Flounder. 404-75. Oh, Joe, I feel so bad. We had Joe on the line, and I was trying to finish up all the stuff, and I think he had to hang up. Joe, I'm so sorry, man. If you want to call back, we'll get you right at the top of the line. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. A couple things. One of the talk about immigrant stuff. Oh. Did you see how the people in New York caught that guy who was wanted for broad daylight rape of a 13-year-old girl? And he apparently lived in the area. He was a deadbeat Salvadorian or something, and lived in the area and was well known to the community. When they saw his face plastered all over the place that he was wanted, they captured him, beat the crap out of him. He crawled under a car trying to get away from the mob that was kicking and pounding him, tied him up with a belt. And finally, they should have killed him.
Should have.
I mean, if they knew for sure. I mean, you got to be pretty sure. If you're going to kill a guy, let me just clear that up in case you know. Again, I'm not a role model in this. Okay, I'm definitely not a role model in any way on this one. But if you're really, really, really sure. That's what that. But if you saw it, you were there. Anyway, so then go ahead and just end it. But anyway, so they beat the crap out of him. And then another case where this back in the Maryland mom, who's a woman killed by a migrant gang member a year before the other migrant killed somebody else. The mother of the victim, whose 20-year-old daughter was raped and strangled, has a message for Homeland Security and the Health and Human Services. You are not doing your job. Other agencies in power like the police and government are not doing anything to prevent this, said the mother. Biden sure isn't trying to prevent these types of crimes from happening. He's the one that is welcoming the illegal immigrants here. Government agencies, federal and local, need to take responsibility and put American citizens first and not last. Our safety is not being put first. The Salvadoran gang member, 23 years old, arrested for rape and murder of a 37-year-old mother on a hiking trail. I mean, it's just, and again, 177 nations are represented in the people. They're not sneaking anymore. They're walking in. They're being welcomed into America. And now he's doing the whole plan today to make it easier for people who have been here for years to go ahead and, here we are. 341. By the way, here's how they feel about us. Remember during the White House visit of was it Pride Week? Let's see, a guy named Rose calls himself a girl, Rose Montoya, a guy who's a tranny and a TikTok personality, was invited by Joe Crime family to the White House, and his name is Jesse. He's a biological female trans man, pornographer known online as Trans Muscle Bear. This guy said he knows this Rose Montoya, and he was recovering from a transgender mutilation surgery at the time, and he posted screenshots of what Montoya did to him with an apology. Montoya saying, "I broke your trust and violated you. I'm sorry I forced myself on you." This guy, Rose Montoya, the fake tranny TikTok personality who was at the White House, flashing his man-girl boobs. He's the guy who got the boob job and was flashing his naked male girl boobs at the White House ceremony. Boy, talk about lack of respect even for your own freaking country, the people that support you. He's accused of several rapes. And he was the invitee, Dr. Jill and Joe, and he flashes his boobs at the White House to show the inclusion and diversity and equity, and he's accused of several rapes, including one that obviously he admitted to.
As the activist Riley Gaines tweeted, "If this surprises you, you haven't been paying attention."
Yeah. And again, just the total lack of disrespect. I mean, just anyway.
When you're mentally ill in one area, you're sexually deviant in one area. Why should we be surprised if you carry that to the extreme?
Yeah. But you would think that, the freaking White House, if you want to celebrate people, being gay and having relationships, I mean, that's I understand that. Fine. Nobody cares. I mean, honestly, nobody, I don't know anybody who really gives a damn about gay people getting married. I'm seriously, have a ball. If you want to have a parade, but this is way different. This is celebrating and forcing and just, being aggressively,
anti-family.
Yeah, it's just
hate
not
family.
what we're about. That's not what we do. It's not, I don't know.
When was the last time Biden or the White House or the Democrats actually did something to celebrate the nuclear family?
Yeah, right.
They always are celebrating every other deviant group out there.
Yeah, let's go back to Norman Rockwell sitting at the dinner table saying grace and then talking about your day. Yeah, that'll be the. By the way, there's a little spat going on here. 344 with a vulnerable Democratic senator lashing out at Republicans. His name is John Lester, Democrat of Montana, and the Republicans have been riding him because he now has had to admit, yes, he says I own at least 9 vehicles because the Senate Republican campaign running against him has called him out for driving a Prius around Washington, D.C., and so this guy reacted in a heated statement calling those who wrote the headline a bunch of jackasses. What a bunch of jackasses, before going on to name all the other types of vehicles that he owns. I got an 86 Chevy. I got a 2018 GMC. I got a 2018 Honda. I got a Celica. I got a Peterbilt. I got an International truck. I got a 96 International. You want me to keep going? He said he's going to spend $10,000 this week on diesel filling my bulk tanks that I use for planting my crop in the ground. Does that make it okay now? I mean, good. I hope you spend all your breath just talking about stupid stuff because you deserve it. You know, the more we get these Democrats going crazy about stuff, the more happy I'm going to be about it. Get him back. By the way, Justin Timberlake's in the news, and it reminds me of a great way, although I shouldn't be saying this because it's sort of not a good thing to do, to get away with drunk driving. But there's a trick that people have done before, and it reminds me of what they did not do with Justin Timberlake, who just got pulled over this morning, and a couple of charges. Also, the crazy plane lady, she is so freaking hot. I mean, now, and oh, God. I mean, seriously, and now what she's up to now? Oh, oh, man. I mean, she's just I mean, what a character. I mean, just what a character. Anyway, well, she's coming up. Got 346, Kara Pete and Flounder on 106.3. Happy Tuesday. We're barely getting going here. We got a lot coming up. 640, 346 here on 106.3.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
If you intend to vote Democrat in the next election, if you intend to vote for Joe Biden, just who are you really voting for? Barack Obama? Again, a lot of people think that's the case. George Soros? That's somebody that hates America almost as much as Obama did. This is a very dangerous election, my friends.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Foundation repair isn't pretty, but at Atlanta Ramjack, we make it easy. If you notice any cracks in your foundation, they need to be addressed as soon as possible to reduce additional costs that come with the repair. Why call us? Foundation repair is all we do. We have highly trained estimators that will thoroughly evaluate your home and only recommend what is needed. If you are experiencing foundation problems, please contact us at ramjack.com/Atlanta or call us at 770-502-8881.
It's that time of year again when the owner of Central Heating and Air Conditioning, Chuck, brings back the 4th annual Christmas in July, benefiting Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Hey, it's Tug for Central Heating and Air Conditioning. If you want to help give back to the community, all you have to do is sign up for a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and $10 from every new maintenance agreement will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. The more maintenance agreements you sign up for, the bigger and better we can make the 4th annual Christmas in July for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Central services all makes and models. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. So call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com to sign up for a maintenance agreement and help Chuck and Central Heating and Air give back to the community. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Extra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
You have enough to deal with after an accident. You don't want to spend a lot of that time messing around with insurance companies. Besides, what are you going to say to them? You really know the ins and outs? David Van Sant at Van Sant Law does. He used to work for the insurance companies. Their worst nightmare. He knows who to call, what to say, how to listen to them, and he has your best interest at heart. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
Yeah, the lion sleeps tonight, baby. So you can wake him up anytime. Look out, stand by. Kimmer Pete and the Flounder here with the Tokens from 1961. A weem away, a weem away, a weem away, a weem away, a weem away. What a goofy song. I used to love this stupid song. God. On this day in 2007, this guy, Hank Medris, passed away from lung cancer. He was only 68. The vocalist on the Tokens' 1961 hit The Lion Sleeps Tonight. He was also in the vocal quartet, the Link Tones, with Neil Sedaka. And he produced the hit single He's So Fine by the Chiffons. He also produced Tony Orlando's Not Three Times. Hank Medris from the Tokens' Lion Sleeps Tonight. And 3:52, Kimmer Pete and Flounder. Our birthday list includes Nathan Morris. He's 53. I don't know him by name, but he's a Boys to Men singer. He's got a crazy vocal range, it says here. He can sing both baritone and soprano. He also has a college degree in computer programming. Boys to Men, Nathan Morris, 53. I'll Make Love to You, End of the Road, Bounce Knee, or something like that, I think. And I want a history of the thing here. On this day in 1967, the Jimi Hendrix Experience made their debut in America at the Monterey Pop Festival. Very big deal back in 1967. At the end of the set, Jimi Hendrix set his guitar on fire and became an overnight superstar. That was the thing happening. All right, 3:53, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. Hey, Joe, call back, man. And we got Justin Timberlake. Oh, God, hold Justin's story coming up first, though. Flounder's funny for Nucky's Hoagies right here. Look out.
Let me get my 1800 window. Here we go. Okay, so I found this early. This is Bill Burr talking about shooting a gun, and I thought it was kind of funny.
I love Bill Burr. Yes, sir.
Dude, I shot a 5-shot 38 one time without earplugs. Okay, I was landscaping this guy's yard, right? He comes out at the end of the job. He goes, hey, I got this 5-shot 38. You want to go down the street? You know, there's a burned out car. Maybe take a couple shots or whatever, you know? You know what's funny? Every other state is dying laughing at this point in the joke. Because it's so goddamn ridiculous. Until I get down to the South. And you guys just sit here staring at me like, all right, so, you know, what happened? I'm mowing a lawn and a stranger comes out with a weapon and says, let's shoot it in a burned out car.
So you're shooting a gun in a car, so burned out. Yeah.
Then what?
How'd it go? How'd you like it? My God. Oh, mercy.
That was Mr. Bill Burr.
Oh, mercy. Well, those 5-shot revolvers are the little one, the smaller, teenier. I actually have an 8-shot Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum 8-shot revolver. It's one of a kind. I've never seen another one. Anyway, so and by the way, I probably, you know what? I got about 5 or 6 guns. I should just sell. Anybody want to buy my gun? I'm gonna sell my guns. Anyway, not all. 355, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Justin Timberlake. Sag Harbor, the wealthy Hamptons enclave. He's going to Chicago later in the week. He's going to New York, Madison Square Garden next week. And Justin Timberlake, the 43-year-old pop star, was leaving dinner with friends and was pulled over after leaving the group shortly after midnight. The friend said Justin was out to dinner. There were cop cars stationed outside the restaurant like there are most nights. They look for people who are leaving after midnight who might have been drinking. Justin left at 12:30. Was pulled over pretty much as soon as he left. Nobody hurt, no damage, no drama, let's see. They say he took a field sobriety test, but Justin Timberlake, we're talking about, would not take a breathalyzer. But he did take field sobriety test. Actually, I've been told to refuse a field sobriety test because you could have bad balance or a broken ankle or something like that. Anyway, he took the field sobriety test, but not the breathalyzer. And I think in this state, that means you're going to lose your license automatically for a year. If you refuse to take the test, I think they just automatically say 1 year you get suspended license. The guy, people were saying, let him go. He didn't do anything. It's Justin Timberlake. And the cop was so young, had no idea who that was. And Justin said something like, boy, this is really going to ruin my tour. And the guy said, what tour? Which is fine. But anyway, he got to the station. And he was handcuffed, and they processed him through the thing. And apparently, the police officers were very clear. They were wondering if he could maybe bring his wife down there, Jessica Biel, maybe to bail him out or something. Maybe wearing a little nightie or I don't know, maybe something, maybe a little outfit to kind of come down to bail him out at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Maybe she was sleeping and didn't have time to just put the teddy on and waltz down there to bail him out.
Negligee action.
Yeah, sure, something just whatever really.
Some tight jod furs.
Yeah, those horse pants. Yeah, have her come down in them horse pants. Anyway, Justin Timberlake, and he's going to have. Well, and by the way, reminds me, and I shouldn't be saying this because this is a bad anti-police thing, and I'm a total police guy thing, as you know. But I remember the story, and I think I finally caught him somehow. The gimmick is, if you and your buddies are out drinking and it's late at night and it's a well-known place, if one guy maybe doesn't drink or hasn't had much to drink and he's clearly not in any way impaired, have him go out first, get in his car, and start, look like he can't even put the key in it, and he's wobbling, and he gets behind the wheel, and he kind of zigzags out of the parking lot and starts going down the street or something, just looking like he's, not really totally in control. The cops will pull him over, give him a breathalyzer, and he passes flying colors because he's not impaired in any way. While they're doing that, the other guys who have been drinking take off in their car and, go down the road. And I think they caught somebody trying to do a scheme like that, trying to fake out the cops who pulled over a guy who was fine.
Back in the day,
yes,
we would start drinking at Manual's, and they would close at 2.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Then we go down to the Highland Tap, and they'd kick us out around 4, even though we should have kicked us out at 3, because mainly some of them were police officers.
Yeah, well, that's where they hang out.
And I would wait till the 2 of them got in their car before me, and I'd get my car in between 2 of them, and wait, there'd be 2 more behind me, and it would be like a train going home.
They never get the second guy. Get
or
the leader.
third.
Yeah.
The last guy, it's like a wolf pack.
Oh, God.
The lead guy in the back.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't think, and again, we shouldn't be joking about this, but I remember times when it's probably 40 or 50 years that I had too much to drink and got behind the wheel and regretted the hell out of it. I thought, scared to death. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to kill somebody or myself.
My friends will tell you that I was safer to drive in drunk because I never took any chances drunk.
Yeah.
I was like a rigid, didn't do anything weird. Whereas when I'm sober, I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, well, but it's been probably 40, 50 years, and I remember I was scared to death, and I'm not a drinker anyway, thank God. I've been dead long ago. 4 o'clock almost coming up already. Holy Smokies, the crazy plague lady, and the spiritual healer says she died for 3 days and talked to the angels. That's coming up next. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder at 4 o'clock. Look out.
That you claimed.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
The president says it's about keeping families together. Lisa Brady, Fox News, announcing new executive action on immigration, focusing in part on people who entered the U.S. illegally, but are married to U.S. citizens and have lived here for at least 10 years.
These couples have been raising families, sending their kids to church and school, paying taxes, contributing to our country.
The order eliminates the need to return to their home country to apply for legal status. President Biden says immigrants affected by today's order have actually spent an average of 23 years here.
But living in the United States all this time with this fear and uncertainty, we can fix that. And that's what I'm going to do today. Fix it.
He's also marking the 12th anniversary of the DACA program by allowing so-called dreamers brought to the U.S. illegally as children to more easily get work visas if they've earned a college degree in the U.S. The president also criticizing Republicans, including the former president, for blocking a bipartisan border bill before heading to Virginia for a campaign event with former President Clinton, while former President Trump is set to rally in Wisconsin.
We expect him to potentially make his first comments on President Biden's latest immigration executive action. We also expect him to talk about law and order, his campaign highlighting the fact that there are just 13,000 police officers statewide, a record low. And then, of course, we expect him to talk about inflation.
Fox's Brian Yennis in Racine. TikTok under more scrutiny. The Federal Trade Commission just announcing it's referred a complaint against the social media platform and its parent company to the Justice Department over potential violations of the Children's Online Privacy Act. We're just getting word that the 911 system in Massachusetts is back up and running. Still no word on what caused a statewide outage. The Dow up 56 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? It's the gentle sound of a waterfall on your hike. And if you were here, you'd take a deep breath of fresh air if you weren't so winded. But you're not here, because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the bugs you wipe from your headlights are all the nature you need. So if you ride, see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes. All from the great indoors. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
All right, who's there for heroes or their families left behind when a service member or a first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty? Who helps our country's homeless vets? I'll tell you who. It's the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Never forget the sacrifices of our country's greatest heroes. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org, the letter T, number 2, letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
It's U2. All right, then. 22 years ago, 2002, U2 lost the bid to prevent the demolition of Hanover Quay Studio in Dublin. 8,000 fans signed a petition online to preserve the studio where they recorded All That You Can't Leave Behind and some of their pop album, U2. And down goes the studio. 403, I kept repeating the flounder. Our birthday list includes Isabella Rossellini, 72 years old, and the guy who did this is Flounder's birthday list. Isabella Rossellini, 72, quote, if only Ross hadn't laminated his list. And I think, wasn't she involved in one of the Friends episode or so? I have a vague recollection of what it has to do with anything, and I don't know what it means. Isabella Rossellini, 72. If only Ross hadn't laminated his list.
The weird thing,
nights. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that, Pete. I mean, they had an episode where they had a top 5. If you could
if you could do anybody, your wife would give you permission.
And I believe this is when he was with Rachel at the time, and so
that's what it was. That's what it was.
I'm pretty impressed with myself. I remember that.
That's extreme. I had a vague recollection of Friends with something about that, and Flounder had the whole thing.
That's the type of information you want to keep in your head.
Well, you just, there's so much room in there for all this other stuff. Shut up.
The reason for life. Things you should do tomorrow.
Yeah, I got the reason for life. All right. Let's see. On this day, 2009, the United States Senate in 2009 passed a resolution apologizing to African Americans for slavery and racial segregation by all those Democrats for all those years. So the Senate apologized for you racist Democrats for slavery and racial segregation. All of a sudden in 2009, hey, let's apologize to the brothers, see what it was bad. It was a bad thing, all you Democrats. So all you Democrats vote yay. Whatever. It's so much better now. 405, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230.
There's actual slavery still going on in parts of the world.
This is unbelievable.
That these sanctimonious ass, could be fighting instead of battling 160-year-old ghosts.
Yeah. The 2019 or the 1619 project and stuff. I mean, just please. A country founded on racism and segregation. Yeah, it was such a horrible place to live. That's why 8 million people sneaked in here. And hell, they didn't even sneak. They walked in here peacefully. In 4 years. 8 million.
Would you guys take million? If you guys got the holiday, would you take it?
Oh, I take it off? Hell yes. Yes.
Veronica's company got it off, so she was like, well, it's a holiday and I get a day off.
Well, there you are. I'm in. We got to salute the brothers. We make up for it. I'd like to apologize for any slavery I might have been involved in. I'd go hit some balls or something.
I would go get a 40 of Schlitz malt liquor.
Yeah, I'll go buy some
just
Jerry
celebrate
curl.
The heck out of it.
Some Jerry curl from my curls in the back there that keep popping up. 407, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 741-1230, yes.
When you drank the bowl?
Yeah.
100% of the time, it works 50% of the time.
There you are. As long as you're keeping track. The crazy plane lady is at it again, and I mean, I just love this woman. Every guy, every just kind of guy hanging around just loves this chick. I think probably. Let's see, her name. Her real name is in here somewhere. Gomez. Let's see. The crazy plane lady made headlines about melting down on the flight with a not real passenger she thought was, a space creature or something, and it was all freaked out and wanted to get off the plane. Had like almost 2 million views. It says she went from freaking out on a plane to flying one. The stunt comes a year after this Texas woman was filmed ranting about the alleged invisible passenger on an American Airlines flight from Dallas to Chicago. She became an internet sensation, millions of themes. She's a real estate developer, and now the footage of her shows her in the cockpit of a plane, sitting into the co-pilot seat in the chair of an unidentified aircraft, and the pilot next to her says, "We're climbing." Now, this story just identifies her by the name Gomez. self-effacing Gomez in the caption of the clip. She's a Texas real estate developer. At one point, she asked the pilot if he wanted to take the controls back, and he says, no, you take the wheel for a while longer. In other words, they didn't put her on the no-fly list. Of course, it seems irresponsible to let a civilian just pilot an aircraft, but she said, no, it's not a commercial flight. And then she says, people, chill. We're in cruise above 10,000 feet, so it's a non-critical phase of flight. The only people on the flight were my family. She explained in another post she was only helming the controls for a few minutes, but the irony of the so-called crazy plane lady flying an airplane wasn't lost on people on X and Twitter. The plane is not real. That plane is not real. Another one said, boy, that was not on my 2024 bingo card. They're keeping track of like the Kimmer's bingo card. Even a pilot said, no, good job as an airline captain. I can say that was not a fake plane. You've come a long way, baby. You'll never know how much joy I got out of the freak out video and all the memes that followed. And in all seriousness, I'm glad you could own it, laugh about it, and move on. She's gotten a lot of mileage out of that in-flight tantrum in her latest attempt to cash in on the fiasco. This girl, and they just say her name is Gomez. Gomez refashioned herself as a right-wing influencer by posing in a bikini holding a can of ultra-right beer. She then weighed in on the issue of biological men competing in women's sports that don't align with their birth sex, writing, quote, wonder how many people I'm going to piss off with this post, so is now an appropriate time to tell y'all men don't belong in women's sports. And that's her latest posting. So she's gone from crazy plane lady to I don't know if that's her boyfriend. She had family. I don't know what that means. I don't recall. I don't think she was married at the time. Anyway, but now she's back in the new. And now she's on TikTok and she's an influencer and she's a conservative hot babe in a bikini. So here we go. And a real estate developer. So they say. I don't know what that means. Anyway, the crazy plane lady is at it again. Incidentally, our 4 o'clock hour brought to you by our good friends, the home of the Kimmer Safe, Atlanta Safe House. You need a safe, silly? You may not think about it. That's where your Social Security card goes. Also, your medical records, learn from the Kimmer. Jewelry, cash, all that stuff. Things you want to save, obviously. Have all the great brands and great prices, and they have a showroom in Ackworth. Tell them the Kimmer sent you. Look them up, atlantasafehouse.com. 411. And now I'm not sure whether I'm going to throw the flag on this one or not. A woman named Julie Poole from Cornwall, she's 61, and she was on one of these Life After Life podcasts, and she says, well, first of all, let me tell you how they describe her. Quote, the self-described spiritual and personal empowerment coach, psychic, channeler, energy healer, hypnotherapist, law of attraction teacher, and author, said she ended up in a spiritual realm when she received the message by higher powers that it was not her time to die and good times would be coming soon. She said she received the message, described having experienced physical, mental, sexual, and emotional abuse as a child, so she took an overdose of painkillers when she was 21. She says she was clinically dead for 3 days, and that's when she received a message so powerful it put her on a path to spiritual worlds. She was in limbo. She says she was greeted by angels who transported her to the higher realm and told her it was not yet her time to officially die. She said, I suddenly saw my guides, my angels around me. They lifted me up, took me up to the higher realms. I just remember saying, I'm going home. They said, no, you're not. It's not your time. They told her, we did warn you it would be too hard and too overwhelming, and now here you are at 21 trying to check out. Oh, that was angel speak. Oh, you're trying to check out? Yeah, that I can imagine that's probably how the angels speak. I could be, misinformed here.
They could be hip.
They could be totally 23 skidoo, baby. Like totally beatniks, man. Playing the bongos in Greenwich Village.
Snapping their fingers.
23 skidoo. She said angels promised a new golden age for mankind would begin between 2012 and 2032. They said the angels told her what we mean by the golden age is that for millennia now, there has been an enormous amount of power, abuse, and control. All of that has been held by the few and controlled the masses. This golden age, is bringing an equally is bringing an equality across the board, so that which is false and fake and untrue and corrupt will fall away. This energy healer woman who was dead for 3 days insisted to podcast hosts there would be a day of reckoning coming soon despite ongoing global atrocities. A day of Armageddon would soon arrive where evil global leaders would lose their power. They're getting caught and kicked out, and people that have a pure heart, pure intentions are coming in instead. I don't. I hope that. Well, I don't believe it. I don't. I think. I don't know. I just don't. I don't really believe it, I guess. I hope. I believe that when you die, I think angels are going to take me for a tour of what happened in the world, how it started, and all
Angels.
Angels. Yeah.
Well, when we come back, we're going to have some more news on Justin Timberlake, and Swatoon wants to chime in.
Excellent. Coming up next with Kimmer Pete Flounder, 414, my friends. Happy Tuesday. Look out.
Time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast's premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Well, let's start this out by reminding people that there is no constitutional right to vote in a presidential election. The states, the cities, the individual municipalities, they can screw things up all they want. In Massachusetts, I believe, they're toying around with the idea of letting 16-year-olds vote. Federally, no constitutional right. With that background, years ago, Democrats passed in Congress something that we called the Motor Voter Bill. When you applied for a driver's license, the states were required to give you an application for voter registration. I called it the Welfare Voter Bill because the states were also required by federal law to give people voter registration forms when they applied for welfare. What a great idea. But 49 states now have upped it. Every state but Arizona now gives voter registration forms to so-called migrants, the polite woke name for illegal aliens. So now the list includes welfare benefits, driver's licenses, any other form of government assistance, and there's plenty for the illegals out there, with no proof of citizenship. Voter registration forms to people known to be non-citizens. And bear in mind, there is nothing on any federal voter registration form that requires any proof of citizenship. That includes requesting mail-in ballots. Not only does the present structure make it possible for illegal aliens to vote, it actually encourages them to do so. So how much confidence does that give you in our elections? Just asking. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Stop dreaming. Start driving. Get the gift that keeps on giving with the RBM of Atlanta Certified Pre-Owned Sales Event. Each of our certified pre-owned vehicles undergoes an exhaustive process of analysis, inspection, and reconditioning until it meets the uncompromising standards of RBM of Atlanta and Mercedes-Benz. For a limited time, get special financing from as low as 2.99% APR. In addition, you'll receive unlimited confidence with Mercedes-Benz's unlimited mileage warranty, delivering continued assurance for up to 7 years. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details and see how to qualify. We'd love to welcome you to the RBM of Atlanta family. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Not all offers apply to all vehicles, and special financing available to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Services through July 1st, 2024. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call 770-390-0700 for details.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Summer is heating up. Whether you're heading to celebrations in the city or out on the lake, it's important to think before that second drink, especially when boating or driving. If you find yourself in trouble after a day of fun, make sure to call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. We handle bonds from the lake to the shore, and we can have you or a loved one out of jail in a matter of hours. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Look out. It's the Spice Girls. 420. I call smoking. Timber Pete and Flounder. 2002, the ex-husband of Spice Girl Mel B. The ex-husband appeared in court on a charge of assaulting a 3-year-old boy. This dancer ex-husband guy named Jimmy Guzar denied assaulting the kid in a play area at the London Zoo. Wow, that's pretty shaky. Our birthday list includes Paul McCartney. Sir Paul is 82, one of only 2 surviving Beatles. On this day, and on this day in history, we got a Justin Timberlake up to here in a second. And Pete Davis, I haven't heard anything on the update of Ian McKellen, but on this day 10 years ago, 2014, Lord of the Rings star Ian McKellen got an honorary doctorate of letters degree from Cambridge University. That's right, you nerds. Gandalf went to Cambridge. Tolkien went to Oxford. So there you are. I don't think I've seen about 9 minutes of all those movies, and they're really beautifully done. I mean, they're spectacular events, I guess, but I just never got into the thing of it, I guess.
They're good movies.
Yeah, they were really good movies.
Last I heard this morning, Sir Ian is resting in a hospital and doing better.
He fell. He was doing a scene on stage. He's 88 or something like that, and he fell. And can't remember whether he broke things.
85.
85. Yeah. Let's see. Justin Timberlake. Well, he got busted in the wealthy Hamptons enclave of Sag Harbor overnight. He was drinking with friends or partying with friends, having dinner and so forth. 12:30 in the morning, got pulled over by the cops. And now this story, Flounder, the thing just, here we go. Flounder just found this story. According to X anyway, the latest is Justin Timberlake, it says, had traces of Molly, poppers, Truvada, and cocaine in his bloodstream following his DWI arrest in New York. Now, I don't know how the hell they would know that in a few hours from when it happened overnight. So I don't know whether I don't know about that or not. But I was just looking up, the New York Post just had it's got like 3 or 4 updates on the arrest of Justin Timberlake last night. Come on, work for me, you stink-bear. Stupid freaking pad thing. God, I hate it. It just won't work. Okay. When the cops pulled him over, they gave the 43-year-old a sobriety test, which he failed. They arrested the father of 2, took him to the local police station where he refused a breathalyzer. Officers reported Timberlake told them, "No, I'm not doing a chemical test. I refuse. And so he was detained after he was spotted. Scroll down, you dirty rotten. After spotted running a stop sign while behind the wheel of his BMW X7 on Monday night after a night out with friends, veering across the road by officers before they intervened, describing him as being in an intoxicated condition in one report. Let's see, scrolling down. Police described him as having bloodshot, glassy eyes, smelling like booze, slowed speech, unable to maintain his attention. This morning, he was seen being led across the bridge to the village's justice court. He appeared shell-shocked as he looked straight ahead, was led out by the police. He was banned for driving for a year in New York, released without bail, emerged wearing a baseball cap. He was arraigned on 1 count of DWI, running a stop sign, failing to stay in his lane. He comes back to court in July, was released without bail. One witness said he was wasted before his bus, was even drinking someone else's drink from another table. He was wasted, man. At one point, just before closing, somebody got up to go to the bathroom and he left his drink on the table. When the guy came back, Timberlake was drinking his drink. The guy goes, "Justin, that's mine." They said Timberlake told arresting officers he just had 1 martini. Nearby surveillance showed his BMW driving through Sag Harbor in the early morning hours of today. Let's see. Anyway, and they talk about his lovely bride, Jessica Biel, and so forth. Anyway, so that's the latest on Justin Timberlake, and he's going to go back and...
We got a Swatoon on the line.
Swatoon on the radio. Welcome, my friend. How's it going? What's up?
Hey, man, I had an angel once visit me.
Oh, you did? An angel visited you? Really?
Yeah, he told me, "You better behave or I'm going to lose my job."
Oh, he's blaming you for his future problems with the big one, is he?
Yeah, I'm too much trouble, to control.
That's not what I heard. Anyway, now this woman, I mean, I'm sure she wants to sound sincere. She says she died, and the angels told her, no, it's not your time, and so forth. They took her to a higher place, and so I'm hoping that is all real. I really do. And may it just be in your mind. It may be that if I believe in my head as I get older and older, that when I die, the angels are going to take me for a wonderful tour and everything's going to be wonderful for eternity, then I'm hoping that's what's imprinted in my mind, so that's my last thought. What do you think?
I was going to say, I mean, once you get to that level of the brain, less oxygen to your brain, you start seeing the hallucinations. But, at the end of the day, you're going to know what was real, what was not. But to tell the truth about my experience, just before the war, I heard, I was 8 years old. Mm-hmm. I heard the chains up in the attic, and in the middle of the night, and as I was looking, on the stairs, the chains started louder, kind of like something is coming downstairs. So I run in my bedroom and just cover myself, and I fell asleep. That night I had a dream about my great-great-grandma. She came to me and she said, "Don't worry, I'm going to watch over you until you come over here." And that might be one reason why I survived the war. And that's a true story.
Wow.
So, but like I said, I was in a dream too. So it's in my, my brain might be. If you go through science, your brain will try to get you calm down, so it kind of self-defense of whatever you're experiencing.
Yeah. Now with the chains, the chains on the stairs. What was the significance of that, and how did you feel about that?
Oh, I never heard it after that, but. I mean, I went to attic. We didn't have chains up in the attic. We did have we were drawing the meat up there, like hanging it underneath of the roof, ceiling stuff. So it was pretty good.
I'll be darned. Well, cool. I mean, wow. And again, who knows? I mean, what a mystery. And again, isn't it incredible that as far as we know, the only species ever conceived is the one that knows we're going to die? The strange gift of knowing that we are not going to live forever, we think.
I have a question for all of you guys.
Yeah.
Would you really want to know when you're going to die?
No. Hell no. I don't think I'll go to bed that night.
That's the best part about this life. It's not knowing.
Yeah.
Because that gives you hope. That gives you a purpose in life. And, if you don't need, people say, I don't believe in the God, blah, blah, blah. But they changed God to look into astrology, look into the rocks, look into the, witchcraft, whatever. Humans are designed to need spiritual guidance. Even if you say you don't want a God, you're going to just convert into something else spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd hate to be a guy who truly believes, what's the point? No matter what you do, nothing matters. So, we're all going to die. So big deal, and do whatever you want. And if you get caught, so what? There's no point to it because everybody's going to die. So what's the point? I'd hate to life. Yeah, I know.
That's not life.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Stratu, listen, thanks, man. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Have a great day. Thanks for being with us at 428. Swatoon, one of our longtime callers and listeners. Great to be with him too. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Let me go back to Fox here. I got that daily thing with the thing there. Let's see. Secret Service. Here we go again. The people in charge are now destroying evidence, trying to help people. And I'm not sure why this would help them, the White House, or not. But it turns out now, because of a request for freedom of information, the Secret Service has now had to admit that it destroyed video footage of President Biden's German Shepherd commander eating one of its agents so badly that they had to mop up the blood and stop the tours of the White House for a while. This happened last summer. Forced the White House to suspend tours to mop up all the blood. And the above-mentioned file has been destroyed. They say the Secret Service retention standards required the file to be destroyed, the video and everything. They had video of that. Apparently the dog ate the guy's left arm, deep bite, needed stitches. They took him half an hour to clean up the blood. At least one instance, Secret Service members were asked to delete logs of the attack within an hour of it happening. They requested a bite agency member injured so badly the communications show they had to go to the hospital. And Judicial Watch, that guy Tom Fitton, I like that guy, man. He's on Fox every once in a while with Judicial Watch. He's a very, very, very serious straight shooter. And he tries to get to the bottom of stuff. He files Freedom of Information Acts like they're candy. He says, we're concerned it's responsive to our federal information lawsuits where videos seem to be unresponsive. Some tapes were destroyed was no surprise that they were sanitized. And by the way, the White House says now the commander's living with family members on a farm with his family.
Upstate.
Yeah, upstate. Yeah, you can visit anytime you want, if you want to there with the thing there. But again, it's just, it's just these Democrats and the people in charge are the worst examples of disinformation and misinformation that we've ever seen, which is what they claim to be the opposite. Just... we'll play more. Well, if you haven't heard those sound bites of the Podium Princess, coming up a little later on again, too. It's a 441. It's a 431. There we go. 431. Yeah.
Latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events, and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Hey, it's Tuck here with an important message as the weather heats up. Southern Exteriors is gearing up with unmatched quality and precision. For over 25 years, they've been delivering top-notch craftsmanship that you can rely on. And let me tell you, they're hotter than the campaign trail in July. Got a home exterior project that's got you feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. From roofing to siding, gutters to windows and doors. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. That's southernexteriors.co. Get a free consultation. Southern Exteriors, your home's best ally with any project.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at nelsoneldercarelaw.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
At the Piedmont Bank, we're proud to be one of Georgia's largest community banks, focusing on serving businesses and the communities they serve. With headquarters right here in Metro Atlanta, our tailored banking expertise and solutions help meet the diverse needs of our customers so they have what it takes to grow, expand, and thrive. It's what elevates us above the rest. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank and experience elevated banking for you and your business. The Piedmont Bank. Banking elevated. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
All right, I got it now. 436. How you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davidson, Flounder, and the Police. And it was on this day in 1993, A&M Records chairman Jerry Moss and vice chairman Herb Alpert announced they're leaving the company they founded more than 30 years earlier. This is 93. They sold A&M Records in 1990 to Polygram for $500 million. Jerry Moss and Herb Alpert started the label in the garage of Herb Alpert's Los Angeles home in 1962. The label A&M Records, home to such acts as The Police, Bryan Adams, Joan Baez, Flying Burrito Brothers, the Carpenters, Joe Cocker, Supertramp, and Herb Alpert, and the Tijuana Brass. $500 million they made in 1990. Wow. Birthday list. I always had the hots for this little chunky little cutie. Carol Kane, 72 years old. Lillian on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Lotka's wife, Simca on Taxi. Miracle Max's wife and The Princess Bride. Wasn't she in a Woody Allen movie, too? Carol Kane, a little chalky little blonde chick there, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I remember her, Simca, Lotka's wife on Taxi. God, what a show that was. Jeez. Let's see. History line. Here we go. And on this day, 1983, the astronaut Sally Ride became America's first woman in space. She was a mission assistant, and for the record, she was the first American woman in space. The first ever woman in space was a Russian cosmonaut named Valentina Tereshkova in 1963. It was 20 years later we had an American woman up there for 438. Kim, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741-1230. 741-1230. We're going to be talking more about the podium princess and all that kind of stuff, and the fakery they're still trying to pretend that we had something to do with, and just makes you sick. A couple of weird things in the news, including the latest, going to a drive-thru. Have you been watching the video lately? Two things popped up in the news here about drive-in food service. In Seattle, a woman serving through the window, a drive-through window in Seattle. A guy got his order. It was a coffee order, and he ordered coffee and a large coffee and a large water, and the order was something like $22 in Seattle. It's like a Starbucks or whatever in Seattle. And so the guy was all ticked off. They apparently had known him before. You've been there many times. And so the video, you can actually Google the video. He gets out of his car and he throws the coffee and the water through the drive-through window at the girl behind the counter, who happens to be wearing a bikini for whatever reason. Anyway, so he throws the water all over her through the window. So he gets back in his car, and by the time he gets back in his car, she somehow comes up with a hammer. I mean, an actual ballpoint hammer, and slams it through his front windshield. It's a big plank, a big hole right in his windshield. And then she called the cops and had him arrested and charged with misdemeanor assault. Now she has not been charged with a crime for smashing a hammer through his front windshield of his car, but he probably could take her to a small claims court, they're saying. Anyway, that was in Seattle. And then there's another thing that happened. Holy cow, this happened in Florida, in Lakeland, Florida, at a McDonald's, 1 o'clock in the morning. This is about 30 miles from Tampa. It started at a drive-thru. The customers felt that their order was incorrect. The employee argued with the customers, and it kind of got out of hand. And so the customer, argued with the customers. The employee threw a drink at the customers as they were attempting to leave. Two people got out of the vehicle, forced open the drive-through window, grabbed cups off the counter, and threw them at her into the store. One person from the vehicle then threw a drink through the window. That's when 22-year-old employee armed herself with a handgun, went back to the window. The customers drove around the other side of the business, and the employee walked outside with her gun to keep arguing. And that's when she started shooting at him as they were leaving the parking lot. At least one bullet hit the vehicle, and everybody was there when the cops arrived. And so holy smokes. Tempers are getting short, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, every day I have, pretty much every day I have a tailgating thing that gets a little, whisk. I mean, people are getting rude and inconsiderate and belligerent and short-tempered. I mean, it might just be me. Honestly, but it's not me. Look at this.
It's the economy and the heat. It's all coming together.
Yeah. Anyway, and one more rather bizarre thing in terms of politics is kind of a strange thing here. A Trump supporter woman named Heather Mullins, a journalist, was on a first-class flight on American Airlines, and she was wearing a MAGA hat. And Heather Mullins said, "I've worn my MAGA hat every time I've flown for the last 4 years, got thousands of fist bumps, never got any hate." Well, there's a first time for everything. I had just had the flight attendant for American Airlines skip me in first class when asking anyone and everyone if they wanted a drink. She said the flight attendant took everybody's order, but then did not take hers. When the Trump fan questioned why she was being skipped over, the flight attendant in first class says, I'll get back to you. And eventually, she did actually, the last person served in the whole place, apparently. She said, I'm just honestly in shock. It's sad that that's still kind of happening in America. She later decided to share a picture of the flight attendant on social media, and that's when American Airlines called to apologize and said they're looking at it. But again, it's just snotty, God. Can't we all get along? I don't know. No, we can't all get along. 443. Well, have you heard there's a new dating thing? Have you heard of I think it's pronounced hypergamy? Hypergamy. G-A-M-Y. Hypergamy or hypergamy? Hypergamy, probably.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. It's a dating trend. And I'm not buying any of this. I think people are it's because of social media and the swiping and left and swiping and right. People don't even know what dating means anymore. For example, there's a luxury dating site called Seeking.com, conducted talker research. Study found the respondents are interested in modern hypergamy, a form of romantic attraction where one person is drawn to another who has a higher socioeconomic status than themselves, supporting and enhancing their own life. So you're attracted to someone who's got a higher socioeconomic status. Wow, how unusual. Anyway, that's what they call hypergamy. When people are looking for meaningful connections and relationships, they're looking for others that can match their intellect and have ambitions in life. Showcasing those ambitions and treating dates to a taste of luxury sets the bar for the relationship. It's time to say goodbye to ordinary dating. People want to find themselves elevated, both in the conversation itself and by being treated to something tailored to them exclusively. The survey showed people find it attractive when others exhibit traits of a better standard of living. For example, I'd almost half say having financial stability, being able to cook well were top attractive traits. Having a nice home, having a cultured taste in music, having good fashion sense, being attractive. And by the summary found that, and again, those are, so what's new about that? This is now, they have a new title for something. This means you're looking for something special in a partner before you go, because you're used to just looking on your freaking phone. The poll found that half the people find it luxurious if their date includes learning about their background and having in-depth and intelligent conversations. I was going to say that right now. They believe having the other person pay for the date in full is proper. One group says if they've been swept off their feet, it's important to 65% of the people. And about a third of people say their relationship is doomed if they do not feel swept off their feet on a first date. Have you ever had a really great first date? I mean, a really just spectacular first date.
Pretty good ones, yeah.
That led to a relationship, for example, or just a great one-night stand. Mm-hmm. Flounder, how about you? Well, we can't talk about Flounder. He's got Miss
My first date with her was great.
It was a wonderful date. In fact, I tried to give Flounder advice on how to commemorate his first date with her for Christmas one, as I recall. But
I'm going to listen to you.
I'm not sure he actually took the Kimmer's advice, but
I did.
Oh, did you? Excellent. Anyway, 446, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We'll talk dating with a Kimmer next. That's what we got going here. Look out, it's a Kimber. We've got your afternoons covered, all right, and the Morning Extra's got your drive-in from 6 to 10 a.m., too.
You want to talk about desperation. Desperation is telling the American people that no matter what you're seeing, it's fake. Everybody knows those videos weren't fake. They're not deep fakes. They're not AI fakes. They're not anything except for the truth. No, nobody is taking advantage of these situations. Nothing is fake. Everything you saw was true.
Well, we've officially hit, according to KJP, 1984. Do not believe your eyes and ears. What we tell you is the finality of the truth, and that is all that is going to exist. But the reason why you don't see these videos is because this administration have made it virtually impossible for you to see these videos. You have to see them on the internet in order to be able to watch them. And so they're trying to hide the fact that this man is clearly in decline, and it's accelerating.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Well, Michael, I want to thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and quite frankly, we were concerned.
About what?
Apparently, you were arrested for throwing a shopping cart at a customer?
In my defense, he had it coming.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Hey fans, summer is here and you know what that means. Exterior painting season. At Atlanta Painting Company, this summer, save 10% off of all exterior projects and get a free color consultation. We understand how valuable your home is, so protect your investment with our industry-leading warranty and unmatched customer service. Don't just take our word for it. We have over 900 Google reviews telling you why we're the painters you can trust. Ready to get started? Visit us online at atlantapaintingcompany.com to schedule your free home consultation. The Atlanta Painting Company, the painters you can trust.
My name is Jamie High, and I have worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years. Why do I work for Bruce? Because he truly cares. He cares about me, he cares about my family, and he cares about each and every one of his clients. Family is important to him, and he never makes me choose between my family and work. He values me as an employee, but also as a person. At our firm, we are all family, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I am Jamie, and I've worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years because he's the best. Hagen-law.com.
Shooting drills. A coach who knows the game can teach their team how to improve, but one who genuinely cares about each player.
You have what it takes. We got this.
Can inspire them to win. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Let's say you have to spend $1 every second of every minute of every hour, day after day, month after month. It would take you doing that a full 36,000 years to reach $1 trillion. The government is far more efficient at spending your money than you are. They're doing $1 trillion every 100 days. If you don't see the need to shore up your hard-earned money right now with something that will act as a firewall against economic insanity, you're not looking very hard. Precious metals, in particular gold, always been a safety net in times of looming economic trouble. I bought my first gold years and years ago. The investment has more than paid for itself. With over $3 billion in trusted transactions, thousands of 5-star reviews, and a 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee, Lear is the precious metals leader you can trust. Get your free wealth protection guide. Lear will also credit your account $250 towards your purchase. So call them today, 800-957-GOLD, 800-957-GOLD.
All right, look out. It's 4:52. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Donald Trump is at a rally in Wisconsin.
She wanted to be a nurse. She was the top student.
Here we go. Let's go with the Donald Trump.
Everybody that knew her. And she was murdered by the same kind of a person that came in here under Biden's there is no policy. They just come in. They just came in. And, I listened to Tom Homan the other day. Tom Homan's great, real pro. He said there's never been an administration so good on the border and so good generally, but he's a border guy. He's a pure, powerful border guy. He said there's never been an administration like Trump. It's the greatest border, the safest border we've ever had. All these murders that are taking place and all the murders that will take place, you're just seeing the beginning. They're just getting comfortable, They're here for a little while. They're not going to start up. They want to find out. They're just getting comfortable. Now they're having fistfights with cops in the middle of the street. Think of that. In the middle of New York City, they have a guy fist fighting with a cop. I've seen cops shot. I've seen a lot of things. But a fist fight, that's really like crazy. And they're duking it out in the middle of a street. And if that happened to him in his country, they would have had him killed immediately. He would have been killed immediately. But here we're very nice. We're politically correct. Also recently in New York, an illegal alien with mutual and multiple prior arrests approached two 13-year-old children with a machete in broad daylight, forced them into the woods, tied them together by the wrists, and raped the girl at a park in Queens. I grew up in Queens. When I'm reelected, we will begin removing these criminals, these horrible people from our midst, and we'll end up doing it immediately.
He said he's going to tear up Biden's amnesty plan first thing.
It's not like we have a choice, right? Do we have a choice? We're not going to live like this. That area in Queens, I said, that's where I grew up. I grew up right near that area. It was unthinkable. My parents, I'd go to the park. It was like 20 blocks away. I'd take a bicycle to ride there. Nobody thought anything was going to happen. I did that for years. Played baseball and different things in the park, and you'd ride and you'd come back home. Mother would say, "Hi, darling, would you like something to eat?" Today, if you let your kid out of the house for 5 minutes, the kid is gone. You never see it's horrible what's going on. We're not living the proper life. This is not appropriate what's happening. Our country is so badly run. And by the way, Kenosha, I saved Kenosha. Do you know that? When I was president, right? I saved it. Kenosha was about ready to go down the tubes, and the governor wouldn't move. He just wouldn't move, and I moved. I'm not supposed to. It's supposed to be the governor supposed to do it, the mayor and the governor. But we did a great job, and we saved a lot of different places, and some here. We saved a lot of places.
He must have talked about it earlier.
Amnesty is also a cold-blooded betrayal of American seniors. By the way, did you see Nancy Pelosi? Her daughter did a documentary, Crazy Nancy. No, this happened just a couple of days. They found the documentary. Her daughter, who's a, quote, documentary maker, has a documentary where Nancy Pelosi is saying it's my fault, meaning her fault, not my fault, her fault, that she takes full responsibility for what's happening. That's as the event is happening. You know why? Because she was being honest for the first couple of hours, and I offered them 10,000 soldiers because I knew the crowd was going to be big. But I offered them 10,000 soldiers, and she turned it down. She said, "Oh, I don't like the look." She turned it down. Mayor of Washington, D.C., which we're going to redevelop and make beautiful again, because right now it's a crime-ridden capital. But they turned it down. They turned down the stuff. And now the J6 committee, I call it the unselect committee. They're unselect. They're the most.
Is that a feed issue going on
We
there?
should have people like you.
No, that's not Pete. That's the satellite. That's
the committee, right?
No, that's what I mean. Is that a feed, not
Pete? It's a feed, yeah. Because it's kind of breaking up.
Trump in Wisconsin live.
Political thugs. The evidence was so bad and so compelling against the Democrats and against the people that are supposed to be doing that job that they destroyed and deleted all of the everything is deleted. Remember, they said I attacked
the January 6th committee
agents while I was in the back of a car, and I have friends that say, "Don't change that story, man. You sound tough as hell." That's good. These guys are like 30 years old. One is a weightlifter, the other one's a karate top guy or something. I went for the one who was rebuffed, but my hands wrapped around the other one's neck. I would have been in trouble if I did that, I think. But what happened is when Secret Service went in, they totally told the proper story, which was nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. Then she supposedly changed her, so something went on there. But that's just one of many things. The Pelosi thing is something that is totally on the record, and they've deleted and destroyed all of the records. And
they erased what they did.
Really disgraceful people. Remember, I said peacefully and patriotically, right? Peacefully. They didn't have that in my speech. They put my speech up, but they took phrases out like peacefully and patriotically. And these are very dishonest people. You know, I say we have problems from the outside and problems from within, and I really believe that you have a smart president. I had no problem with China. I had no problem with Russia. I stopped Russia. Russia would have never gone into Ukraine. I stopped their pipeline going into Germany, which Biden immediately approved. The first week that he was there, he approved it. And Putin actually said, you know, they say that you and I are friends. I'd hate to see you as an enemy. You stopped my pipeline. It was stopped. Going to Germany, going all over Europe, and Biden immediately approved it. But he killed our pipeline. The Keystone, he stopped our pipeline. The Keystone XL, 48,000 jobs. He stopped our pipeline. Biden and his party are hell-bent on legalizing every single Biden migrant who has violated our borders, dumping millions of people onto Medicare and Social Security and even Obamacare. By the way, all of these people going onto Social Security, Medicare, Obamacare, whatever you want to call it, it's going to destroy all of them. It's not going to be able, it's not sustainable. They're going to ruin your Social Security. This guy's killing your Social Security. Biden and the Democrats are wheeling Granny off the cliff to give benefits to illegal aliens. They're giving the benefits to the illegals. And you know, a stat that came out the other day is that almost all of the new jobs in this country are going to illegals. They're not going to our people. They're going to illegals. And that's why the black population, Hispanic population, is voting for me at levels that nobody's ever seen before.
Donald Trump live in Wisconsin at a rally.
They're not getting the jobs.
Got the red hat on, the blue suit, and red tie.
As president, I will fight for American seniors like nobody has ever fought before, and we will not be fighting for the Biden illegals,
let's go back to the news.
I will fight for American workers, not for human traffickers.
Well, can we go through the news? I don't know if we're allowed to go through the news. We're good. Just keep going, Pete, and just keep listening.
And I will restore the sovereign borders of the United States of America. So help me God.
All right, let's go to the news. 5 o'clock. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We'll come back to the president. Still going and all the latest stuff here, too. 106.3, happy Tuesday, and rallying the troops in the battleground state of Wisconsin.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
Executive action on immigration. Elisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden letting more undocumented immigrants have a legal path to stay in the U.S. without having to travel to their home country to file the paperwork if they're married to U.S. citizens and have already been here for at least 10 years. But he also says he knows Americans are concerned about border security.
These are the fears my predecessors trying to play on when he says immigrants, and his words are poison the blood of the country. When he calls immigrants, in his words, animals.
Accusing former President Trump of ripping families apart. The former president spending a lot of time on immigration at a rally in Wisconsin.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to use all of these people that are pouring into our country to vote. What other reason?
Accusing President Biden of an illegal amnesty plan and vowing to rip it up if he's sent back to the White House. Also highlighting several recent criminal cases involving suspects who entered the U.S. illegally. On Capitol Hill.
This hearing is a moment of reckoning.
Connecticut Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal chairing a hearing on Boeing safety issues, describing it as a once iconic company that lost its way. This after newly released whistleblower testimony accusing the company of a broken and in some cases deceitful safety culture.
Current Boeing employee Sam Mohawk, who works at Boeing's Renton facility where the 737 MAX is made, divulged these details to lawmakers, quote, alleging that Boeing is improperly documenting, tracking, and storing parts that are damaged or otherwise out of specification certification and that those parts are likely being installed on airplanes.
Fox Business's Hillary Vaughn at the Capitol. CEO David Calhoun telling lawmakers they are taking action and making progress. NVIDIA just passing Microsoft to become the most valuable U.S. company, more than $3.3 trillion worth as shares hit a new record. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? The soothing sounds of a bubble bath. And if you were here, you'd smell a single cedar leaf candle. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. So if you ride, get back on the road and enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. And then take a shower, because it's fast, like your motorcycle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Roadside assistance may require comprehensive coverage. Not available in all states.
You know, since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been committed to supporting our nation's first responders and veterans. They support America's heroes like U.S. Army Major Jonathan Turnbull. Now, Major Turnbull sustained devastating injuries at the hands of an ISIS suicide bomber. Tunnel to Towers gave him a specially adapted smart home designed for his needs. Join Tunnel to Towers. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month so this great work continues. Their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of leg. Ready on your dog target. Hair, help, hair, paleo, hair, rub guards out. Hair, paleo. Look out. It's only me. It's only the camera. How you doing? 503 with Pete Davis and Flounder. And Lucas is in the back there in the man cave and just keeping track of everything. How's it going? Beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Here's number 404-741-1230. 741-1230. It was kind of fun earlier. Clay Travis joined us. He was doing a show from the studio next door to us here in Atlanta. And he's got his 3 kids here going to the Braves game. He's a big Braves fan. And then he's going to be on Thursday. He's going to be playing in the Live Golf Tournament Pro-Am thing or something or other. So anyway, the guy's getting around. He's on TV and radio all the time. And I'm really happy for him. Proud of him and of his tremendous success. Clay and Buck are doing noon to 3 on this radio station. 504-1063 is where we are. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. We just got the message that Noam Chomsky is dead. However, I was trying to, in fact, all the message, it was a tweet thing. In fact, let me do what Pete sent, actually. Here's the tweet, and it says, Noam Chomsky, one of the worst people on the planet, is finally dead at 95. And I thought, well, I got to look into more of this because I don't really know much about Noam Chomsky. I mean, I know the name and stuff, but I really don't know much. I mean, the guy was 95, so when he was doing his thing, there's no greater anti-Semite than the Jewish one. None hates the Jewish people more than the Jewish traitor and apostate. Good riddance to bad rubbish. However, his wife says he's still alive.
I'm not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
He's still called dead in a moment.
I just Googled it. Noam Chomsky's wife denies the writer's death. Several media outlets reported the death of the writer, political scientist, and analyst. His wife, since 2014, denied the news, stating he is sick, but he's not dead. He was a professor emeritus at linguistics at MIT and University of Arizona. Improved the degree of regaining consciousness and leaving the intensive care unit. And wife said he's found in the news, considered by many around the world as a symbol of protest and independence. Influential activist and critic, frequently questioned U.S. policy on Middle East and Central America. His books, essays, Fear of Democracy, How the World Works, Culture of Terrorism, things like that, will always be remembered by an emblematic intellectual of the world left. Young age, he faced the American invasion in Vietnam, criticized the globalization, capitalization prevailing from the United States. Anyway, Pete Davis, thoughts about Noam Chomsky?
He's pretty much a scumball most of his life, although recently I think he spoke out about censorship, and he was right about that. He didn't like the censorship coming down, but he's pretty much, like they said, self-loathing and hated America, and he was a pure communist.
Yeah, but he was huge for a while, and of course you haven't heard the name in a long time, but But he was among that ilk who was causing trouble back when socialism and flames were happening around the thing. Now, what is this? The Podium Princess back with another thing? KGP, Pete just got the story. KGP, the Podium Princess, Shirley Temple, the Rainbow Goldilocks. KGP is going to claim another deep fake video of Joe Biden. What now? Do we know anything more about this?
He's mumbling. He can't even know what Mayorkas' name is. He forgets his name, so he just mumbles something, and everybody's nodding their heads. Schumer's behind him nodding his head, and he's speaking total gibberish.
Do we have any sound of this available yet?
Give me 1 second, I'll find it.
Okay, Flounder's going to get that for us. Claim another deep fake video. Let's see.
Here it is.
Oh, here we go.
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure you're going to understand. Security Secretary.
What?
Yeah,
it's like your grandfather.
He just freezes.
My
in the home.
God.
Play it again. It's seriously. We've all heard this with older people.
Yeah.
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure you're going to understand.
Whoa.
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure you're going to understand.
This is the same guy who was introducing his cabinet, as you'll recall, and was talking about that general over in the building across the street there. He also called his Secretary of Health and Human Baccaria. The man's name is Becerra. He called him Baccaria. Good Lord.
But this is worse. This is him just completely.
Well, you know, the thing is, I mean, but he's going downhill so steadily.
Here's a better sounding one.
Here we go.
Members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure you're going to understand. But all kidding aside, Secretary Moore.
Holy smokes. And again, they're going to just be... In fact, Flounder, let's do the Karine Bajin-Fafine. We got 2 sound bites of her if you haven't heard them. One is kind of a complete... trying to have her understand her phrases of deep fake and cheap fake and doesn't even know what she's talking about, babbling incoherently, trying to save this idiot.
They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith. And some of your news organizations have been very clear, have stressed that these right-wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation. And so we see this, and this is something coming from your part of the world, calling them cheap fakes and misinformation. Instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country, we're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos, and it is, again, done in bad faith.
Deep fakes, cheap fakes, done in bad faith. She's just freaking lying deliberately. She's guilty of disinformation and misinformation and outright lying to the American people, which is what they've been accusing the conservatives of doing with this disinformation, misinformation campaign.
Show us the real tape, then. Yeah. If that was doctored, show us the real tape.
Well, that was the real tape.
Yeah, that is the real tape. I mean, they have nothing to back it up. It's all lies.
And one more, another good example of this, where they're trying to make something into nothing that was something. When President Stupidface was at the Juneteenth celebration with George Floyd's brother, and everybody was dancing to the music. I mean, the crowd's going wild. They're all snapping fingers, singing and dancing music, and he was frozen solid. And everybody realized it. The whole world was realizing stuff like this. And here's how the Podium Princess, Rainbow Shirley Temple, described what that was all about.
Let's talk about Juneteenth. The president stood there listening to the music, and he didn't dance. Excuse me, I did not know not dancing was a health issue. That is a weird thing to actually flag when if you look at the people who were around him, you look at the expanded video of the people who were around him, they were not, there were some folks who were not dancing either.
We're not talking about the crowd in the back of the, 50 yards away. We're talking about everybody touching him and near him. We're all dancing, and he was not. And it was obvious that there was something going on, and that he wasn't handling the situation properly or effectively or, routinely. And so people noticed it. And so now you're trying to pretend that it was not real, that there was, my God. We saw it. We saw.
We can see him, right?
The man emperor has no clothes. It's just astounding.
You know what's funny? I read that book as a kid, and I thought, well, I'll always be the one that would say something. I'm always the one that would speak out. And I'm thinking, but that would never happen in this country. That could never happen here. And we're watching it in real time.
Yeah. Well, again, I think it's. I'm telling you, I think it's the consequence. Just like I was mocking this whole new theory of dating now, because everything's swiping and stuff on your phone, and the problem is this whole business with being the person who doesn't believe it. It's getting worse and worse because the mob mentality, where they would want to hang a guy because the whole town showed up, and so you can lose your identity, and the mob's calling for justice, and they go along with the mob. Nowadays, the mob is all this social media being linked in all together. She makes her lies from the podium. Everybody's phone explodes. All the liberals all over the world saying, "Oh man, they're trying to fake those videos again." And here we go. And just that way they can get you to not believe your own freaking eyes. They're not stopping, and they're getting. I hope they're not getting away with it. Good Lord. All right, hold on. 5:30. Holy Grandpa Sports is coming up. Also, Annick Ami passed away at the age of 92. The French award-winning actress from A Man and a Woman. More on that coming up. Also, should we be drafting women into the draft? And how do you feel about men automatically being registered for the draft, whether they like it or not? Coming up, 5:13. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here we go. Look out.
Atlanta radio legends collide on Extra 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
All right, look out now. It's only the Kimmer. How's it going? 5:14 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Atlanta Safe House. Jeff and Mark, our buddies down there. I'll tell you what, they have a showroom in Ackworth. If you're up in the area, check it out. And again, I know you may not be thinking about a safe. Well, it is a safe. Well, you can take it from me. When I couldn't get my medical records, when I went down to Florida, I had 2 safes from Atlanta Safe House. I didn't have a safe down in Florida when I retired, and now I'm paying for it. I've also lost my Social Security card with my wallet a few years ago, and that was a nightmare trying to get that replaced. It doesn't go in your wallet. Your Social Security card goes in a safe place like your safe. How about your pistols? They have a terrific supply of pistol safes. They're beautiful. They're terrific for what they do. And it gives you a special extra feeling of safety and security, especially if you're kind of a new gun owner or new to the family and stuff like that. It just makes a lot of sense. And by the way, they install your safes anywhere. They could probably put it on your ceiling if you wanted it. For me, they bolted them into the concrete floor in my garage and my game room downstairs. And again, these are Jeff and Mark. This is a non-woke company. This is a constitutional company. They're never going to give out your safe's master reset code to somebody who doesn't deserve it. In fact, if you've had a problem, they'll make sure they'll do it for you, redo it for you, and make sure no one else gets it, period. That's the kind of people these guys are. And we're not talking little plastic boxes at the pharmacy with a little teeny key in them. That's not it. Atlanta Safe House been doing this for decades and decades. All the top brands, rifles, pistols, jewelry, cash, your first corsage, all the stuff you want to keep secure. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. Showroom in Ackworth, on the web, atlantasafehouse.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
The warm air, the beautiful weather, and the sounds of baseball.
It's got you thinking about hitting the road. And no matter where your adventures take you, Subaru of Gwinnett has a vehicle to get you there safely and in style. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2024 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right size SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. No matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Insurance companies know that you don't know a lot about the law, so maybe it would be better just to let your lawyer make the call to the insurance company when there's a problem. David Van Sant should be that lawyer. He used to work for the insurance company. He knows who to call, what to say, and he has your best interest at heart. Plus, if you don't get paid, either does he. Van Sant Law, 855 GA Injury or vansantlaw.com.
Summer is in full swing, and there's nothing more American than spending your July 4th week at Truist Park. The week begins when the Pittsburgh Pirates come to town, June 28th through the 30th. On the 28th, fans are invited to arrive early for the CMT Hot Prospects concert series in the Battery Atlanta Plaza, featuring up-and-coming country artist Ashley Cook. And on Sunday, June 30th, the first 3,000 kids through the gates will receive an American flag junk headband. The fun continues with the Giants and Phillies July 2nd through the 7th, and 2 amazing freebies. Step into the Spider-Verse at Truist Park on July 3rd for the Michael Harris II Inspired by Miles Morales bobblehead giveaway, presented by Coca-Cola. And to round out the homestand, the first 3,000 kids on Sunday, July 7th will get a Braves backpack. So check that off your back-to-school list. Check out all of the fun at Braves.com/promos and purchase your tickets today. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
All right, look out. 5 o'clock hour brought to you by Lee Brandt Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com. It's 20 after 5. Hey, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Braves didn't grab the lead last night until this happened in the bottom of the 8th.
Here's the pitch.
High fly, deep right field.
Whoa.
Chop House beers up and is gone. And the Braves have their first lead of the night on an Ozzy Albies solo shot.
A great call. Chop House beers up.
I have no idea who did that call. Who was that, Flounder?
I'm not sure. I'll find out. Ben was off last night. He's off for a couple nights, but let me get the name for you.
That was a curveball. I know.
Yeah. A pretty good call.
It was a good call.
Yeah.
680 the fan. It was a
beers
good call.
up. Yeah, here comes the ball.
I tell you what, it hit on top of the roof. I mean, that ball damn near left the stadium. It was unbelievably high when that sucker took off.
Man.
Bravos pull out the 2-1 victory over the Tigers. Max Fried, 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, only 1 earned run, had 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, many of them looking. Jesse Chavez, Uncle Jesse, came in a tough spot, pitched 1 2/3 scoreless innings, and Joe Jimenez got the save, his first. Daysbel Hernandez the win in relief. Former Braves righty Shelby Miller took the loss. Forrest Wall got his first RBI with a single to score Austin Riley, who continued his tear with 2 doubles. The team still struggling with runners in scoring position, though, going just 1 for 9, but they got the hits when it counted. Same 2 teams tonight in Truist Park. The right-hander Casey Mize, who's 1-4 for Detroit, against the 0-2 Spencer Schwellenbach for Atlanta. Travis d'Arnaud behind the plate, Forrest Wall in left field again. Actor Robert Downey Jr. visited Cooperstown this morning and posted a pic of him standing next to a ball player's plaque. Which player, for what Jay has in the box, was he standing next to at the Hall of Fame?
Robert Downey Jr., is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Ty Cobb.
Why Ty Cobb?
Well, because I think he was in a movie once starring Ty Cobb. About a Ty
No,
Cobb.
you would be incorrect. You were this close to
Flounder.
Well, actually, way off.
Way off.
Anybody guess?
Babe Ruth, because he was
Nope,
he had
not
owned
Babe
a
Ruth.
jersey of Babe Ruth at an auction. No, I can't.
Nope.
This could be a long.
I do know he had the nickname Iron Man.
Well, that's
right.
Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig.
Well, there you are.
Right.
It's a double whammy. Flounder and the Kimmer together. That's
Very
what we
good.
call teamwork, my friends.
That's almost one brain. That is, that's
well,
so
no,
close.
I'd really not pull in my share. I'm sorry.
The Falcons will place quarterback Matt Ryan and owner Arthur Blank gingerly into their Ring of Honor this season. Wonder who votes on that. Think Artie got a vote there? What's going on? The Falcons' Ring of Honor is a little different than most teams, though.
No.
As the owner and former signal caller will be placed into an octagon for a 3-round cage match. Winner gets top billing in the Ring of Honor.
I don't think that's
Arthur has old man strength, but my money's on Ryan, who brings youth and vigor into the contest, although he is prone to crucial last-minute mistakes.
Well,
as we
there
have
you
found
are.
out. Beginning June 25th, all AAA games in baseball will use the Automated Ball Strike, or ABS, challenge system, as opposed to the full ABS, which was previously used for half the week. It's an indication the league is inching toward implementing the challenge system in the major leagues, although interim commissioner Rob Manfred says that move won't be for at least another season away. A memo obtained by ESPN says the league's research indicates that both in-uniform personnel, which is players and coaches, and fans prefer a challenge system over the full ABS. In that system, challenges to calls on balls and strikes are made by the hitter or catcher in real time with the umpire, who receives an answer to the challenge via an earpiece. In full ABS, every call is made by the umpire. So additionally, the International League will experiment with teams only receiving 2 challenges per game instead of 3. And according to sources, the earliest any system could be in the majors would be 2026. So it's coming.
Well, but
the challenge system is coming.
Now, let me ask you this. If the rule would be 2 challenges per team of balls and strikes, then...
Well, that may change. Don't fixate on that, because that's small details that they're going to change between now and then.
All I was thinking of, how in the world would you have to decide whether a batter thinks he's so special enough that he's going to take one of the 2 challenges when the manager's saying, no, that wasn't that bad. You see what I mean? How the hell are they going to determine who gets to pick those challenges for a ball and strike? You better be the best player on that team, with the best eye on that team. I mean, I can't imagine how you work that out.
The catcher should be the guy on the defensive team that does it.
Yeah.
Now, whether the batter or the coach watching on television is quick enough to do that.
Yeah, this could get really out of hand. But I like the idea. The automated, it's got to come. It's
just do the robot umps and let's get it over with.
There you go.
Just please.
Yeah.
Love him or loathe him, Pat McAfee says he'll be back on ESPN's College Game Day this fall, despite not having signed a contract to do so. Former Penn State coach and now State Penn inmate Jerry Sandusky speaking for the first time in 12 years about his conviction on child molestation charges. The 80-year-old Sandusky currently serving a prison sentence of 30 to 60 years after being found guilty on 45 counts of sexual abuse of boys between 1994 and 2009. He met it through his charity. His lawyers are pressing for a new trial, claiming the victims have changed their stories and have false memories of what really happened. Well, what about those grown assistant coaches and former players who saw things? Or did they have repressed memories too?
And that's kind of a different.
Yeah, please. Yeah. The Indiana Fever's victory over the visiting Chicago Sky Sunday, the WNBA's most watched game in 23 years.
Gee, I wonder why. Guy can't figure out why.
In a related story, WNBA games are actually televised on TV. Who knew?
But you see the Babylon Bee headline that said, "It's just basketball, shrugs decapitated Caitlin Clark."
Yeah.
God.
It looks like the Clark Angel Reese Princess and the Punk show is going to continue because they keep getting the ratings on this here.
Oh, mercy.
Bryson DeChambeau, who, by the way, was at a Trump golf thing last night, hitting glowing golf balls into the dark. It was pretty cool to watch. It's on video of Daily Mail. He may be on a roll now, but you won't see him in the Paris Olympics because they don't count his winning on the Live Tour when they put up the points.
Really?
Yeah, it's so stupid. This whole thing is stupid.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, fat little Scottish troll Colin Montgomery, not happy with us Americans and the way we act during U.S. Opens. Trying to stay relevant, Colin is.
Well.
He got his haggis up by chance of USA, USA during our national golf tournament in the United States.
Yeah, in our
Mr. Run-Up says the American fans that attend a golf tourney are not generally golfers. You get the Open or Scottish or an Irish event, and it's usually golfers who attend those events. They appreciate and understand the etiquette of the game. I have never been anywhere near a golf thing that it wasn't actual people there watching that played golf.
Absolutely.
What the hell is he talking about?
He's not an idiot.
All right, he went on. In America, it's not. It's a lot of baseball fans and football fans who've been drinking all day and love to shout the word USA. It's not really golf. It's not the etiquette of the game. It's very anti-rest of the world. America feel like they are the best and loudest. They certainly are the loudest. The broad-stomached braggart went on to say he was a threat to American fans. What, at the buffet table?
Yeah.
I know if I saw Colin Montgomery in front of me in the line, I'd worry if there'd be any pie left by the time I got there. Mouth breather Monty went on to bitch, it's very difficult to play a course of that difficulty. You get the odd, unlucky break, and you got the word USA being sang in your ear for 5 hours. It's hard work. Wah, wah. The thin-skinned, weak-minded dilettante. No wonder he never won over here.
This is the guy they called Mrs. Doubtfire with a man boobs.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And lastly, Colin Montgomery put down the deep dish pizza long enough to claim that DeChambeau won because of encouraging the chants, saying Bryson was jeering up the crowd, of course, because that was how he was going to win, with the support of the crowd behind him. But we don't do that in Britain. We celebrate good golf, whoever it might be. Okay. Go jump in a lot, Colin Montgomery. You never won a PGA tournament in America. You never won a major anywhere. Yet he called himself a threat. Yeah, a threat to what? The tension capacity of your belt? Shut your pie hole and go back to your Highland Games that mainly consist of sheep shagging contests in between clan doers battling clan Johnny Walker. Thanks to the late, great P.G. O'Rourke for half of those insults. The better ones.
I mean, please, remember he melted down? He was so out of shape. He was just soaking wet and his man boob showing through
the cow.
Yeah, but like 20 years ago at the U.S. Open. It was unbelievable.
He's the Chrissy Teigen of golf.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what he is.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm part Scottish, so don't get your kilts in a wad. Or do. I don't care.
Yeah,
I can say what I can because I'm part
He's
Scottish.
a fop.
In other news, the Celtics won their 18th NBA title last night, beating the Mavericks 4-1.
They creamed.
Did you watch a second of it?
No, I didn't. But again, the scores, they were winning by 18, 20 points. 14. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Nobody cared about this one. The only thing that was good is former Atlanta Hawks star Al Horford finally got a trophy, which is very nice.
Oh, that's good. That's a good. Yes, that's right.
Good. On this day, June 18th, 1977, Yankees outfitter Reggie Jackson and manager Billy Martin get into a dugout pushing match at Fenway Park on national TV. Jackson questioned Martin after he was removed from the game for loafing on a fly ball, which he was. And in 1986, Don Sutton tossed a 3-hitter and picked up his 300th win as the Angels beat the Rangers 5-1.
And on this day in 1975, Fred Lynn of the Boston Red Sox hit a single, and then a triple, and then a home run, and then another home run, and then another home run against the Detroit Tigers. 3 homers, a single, and a triple. And
no double.
No double. And on this day in 2000, Tiger Woods won the U.S. Open, speaking of golf, for the first time by a record 15 strokes at Pebble Beach. He won again in 2002 and 2008. Holy Crap of Sports with Pete Davis. Kimmer and Flounder coming up 5:30 on 106.3. Happy Tuesday. Look out, it's a Kimber. We've got your afternoons covered, all right, and the Morning Extra's got your drive-in from 6 to 10 a.m., too.
You want to talk about desperation. Desperation is telling the American people that no matter what you're seeing, it's fake. Everybody knows those videos weren't fake. They're not deep fakes. They're not AI fakes. They're not anything except for the truth. No, nobody is taking advantage of these situations. Nothing is fake. Everything you saw was true.
Well, we've officially hit, according to KJP, 1984. Do not believe your eyes and ears. What we tell you is the finality of the truth, and that is all that is going to exist. But the reason why you don't see these videos is because this administration have made it virtually impossible for you to see these videos. You have to see them on the internet in order to be able to watch them. And so they're trying to hide the fact that this man is clearly in decline, and it's accelerating.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
We never know when the storms are coming, so it's critical that we have a solid roof over our heads. This is Jim Niarchos from the All Four Seasons Home Show. This Saturday morning at 9, our guests will be Georgia Roof Advisors. Do you get up on the roof and inspect it for any issues? I don't, and I'm not going to. I want experienced pros in a company I can trust. There's a lot of crooks out there trying to rip us off. We're going to talk about how you protect yourself and choose the right roofer for your home this weekend on the All Four Seasons Home Show, helping you and the community right here on Extra 106.3.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
It is so important to prepare in case of any emergency, and there's one place you can do that, and that's True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. But before you get into preparing, you need to know everything that goes into preparing. That's why they have all these great classes. They always have an intro to emergency preparedness class. What about a bug out bag? Make sure that you go to their class on that. And also, don't forget, they also do blood drives, everything else. It's your one-stop shop for preparedness. True Prep, Marietta, Cobb Parkway, or online, trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Now, I know there are plenty of HVAC companies out there, but let me tell you why Central Heating and Air Conditioning stands out from the rest. These days, it's hard to tell who's on first. Everybody wants to play. Many of the local HVAC companies, though, have been sold to large conglomerates. And some are even coming back under new names. But at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they never left the field. They've been your hometown team since 1947. And their dedication to our community has never wavered. They are the grand slam you can count on. Central's team of experts know the game inside and out, delivering dependable service and personalized solutions every time. So don't get caught off base. Choose the HVAC team that's always been in the game. Get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Turn to your Atlanta Carrier experts. Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Call them today, 770-GET-HEAT, or visit them online at centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Now, I find this a little hard to believe what I'm about to say here with the Kim Repeat and Philander at 535 on 106.3. 1977, Fleetwood Mac went to number 1 with this song, Dreams. Number 1 on the singles chart with Dreams. And it says here, the group's first and only American number 1 hit. That can't be true.
Rhiannon had to be
my
number
God. I mean, everywhere, Say You Love Me, Got a Hold of Me. There's like, I can't believe any of this. The first and only number one song was Dreams in America. It was only 24 hit in Britain. Stevie Nicks said she wrote the song at Record Plant Studio in Sausalito, California in 10 minutes. I used to go to Sausalito on my Harley every weekend, and I would pull in this little diner and Sausalito across the Golden Gate Bridge, and I would go into a diner and was famous for having its cheeseburger with a fried egg on top of it. And man, was it freaking good. Anyway.
This became popular again a few years ago because there was a TikTok video of a bald Hispanic guy rollerblading or roller skating down with a with a drink or something like that, and it became viral.
Fleetwood Mac, but this Dreams, first and only number one American hit.
All right. No.
That.
According to Fleetwood Mac had 4 number one hits on the Billboard Hot 100 charts in the U.S., according to Dreams, Don't Stop, Hold Me, and Big Love.
Hold Me, that was the other one I love. Yeah, Hold Me and Say You Love Me are probably my 2 favorites.
But someone else says they only had 1 in the U.S.
Yeah.
So
well, I think there's a difference. There's a Billboard singles chart, and then there's the the top 40 chart. I think that's probably there's a difference in the Casey Kasem countdown kind of thing. I don't know. Anyway, obviously they're a big hit group.
By the way, Flounder points out that was Tom Hart on the call last night. I've heard Tom do so many college football things. I should have recognized his voice doing baseball. Yeah, he's a great broadcaster.
You have the call again? Let's play the call again. It was real short.
Let me get the call here real quick.
But listen to how clever it was. A big bash. Almost left.
High fly, deep right field. Chop House beers up. It is gone. And the Braves have their first lead of the night.
What a great
Ozzy Albies solo shot.
A great way to put it. Chop House beers up.
Well,
raise your because it's going to hit your glass.
I think Ole Miss started this, but a lot of college teams do it. The fans in the outfield, when there's a home run, they throw their beers up in the air and everybody gets drenched.
Well, maybe that was it, I guess. Our birthday list includes, and I don't watch these shows, so I'm just doing this for your benefit because I know people do watch them. Alana De La Garza is 48. Alana De La Garza is on Law and Order, ADA Connie Riberoso. She also stars with Julian McMahon on the FBI spinoff FBI Most Wanted, in case you do that. Anyway, and on this day in history, hold on a sec, we have a special daily an audio daily double here, Flounder, on this day in history, and you're going to have to kind of go with me with the program here. Remember, I'm an old fart, so this is really fun for me. 1961, on the radio, on CBS, for the last time you heard this.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of gun smoke.
Recognize this theme? I forgot this was the theme to Gunsmoke. Matt Dillon, Miss Kitty, and Chester.
Gunsmoke. The story of the violence that moved west with young America.
Okay, we can't cut it there.
The story of a man who moved with it. Matt Dillon.
All right, we get it. Okay, fine. Yeah, well, that was William Conrad, who was the voice of Matt Dillon.
Cannon.
The big fat load played a private detective Cannon. As always, a big hero, big matinee movie star who solves all the crimes. He weighs 800 pounds. He can't move. Oh, God.
Did he try? What was it, LTD or Continental? That was big enough to have.
And it would move down when he got in it. You can see the springs were.
he pulled his gun. You couldn't see the 38 in his hand. It was so small.
Yeah. It was a little snub-nosed 5-shot 38. Oh,
it looked like his hand was shooting.
I mean, it was pretty funny. A guy. 5:40, and let's do Pete's tweets here. Can we do Pete's tweets, and then we got a Flounders Funny coming up later. Also, want to talk about whether we should have an automatic enlistment for the draft for young men when they turn 18 to 26. They added a year or two. But first, we got tweets. We got Pete. We got Pete's tweets.
Kevin Sorbo, better known as Hercules, tweets, can someone put a Trump endorsement on Biden's teleprompter and see if he'll read it?
Go screw yourself, San Diego.
Another viral meme making the rounds is a pic of Biden saying, "See you later, alligator." And right underneath, there's a pic of a gator saying, "In a while, pedophile." I was walking in town last night, and I passed a hot fudge sundae, a lemon cheesecake, and a slice of apple pie.
Well,
streets were strangely deserted last night.
Oh, dear God. Thank you. Strangely deserted, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
All right. The folks who claim to know things say they figured out why so many men in ancient times wore beards, especially the soldiers.
Yeah.
If you're struck in the face and you don't have a beard, the blow will likely break your jaw. If you have a beard to cushion it, your jaw will only break 40% of the time. My question is, who stood still so they could test this?
Yeah, we need some
But it makes a little
volunteers.
sense. It is a little cushion there on that. Hostess has 2 new flavors. Would you eat a King Dong flavored popcorn or a Twinkies flavored popcorn?
Popcorn that's flavored like Twinkies?
Yeah.
I like my butter. I like butter and salt in my pie. I really. What's the other one?
just
Ding
butter
Dong?
and salt.
No, I stick
Ding
to
Dong.
Yeah,
King Dongs. Yeah,
King,
same
no,
thing.
I don't think so.
Stefan has a life hack for you. You can turn any sofa into a sofa bed by telling your wife to calm down.
You'll find out. Oh, they love that.
And Daryl says that you women may be surprised to learn that making us men sleep on the couch isn't all that bad. It's kind of manly. Makes us feel like we're camping with a really angry bear nearby.
But we also have a TV set, a refrigerator near. I mean, it's not. It could be a lot worse.
And personal space. Nobody kicking you in the back.
That's right.
Stealing the covers.
Stay on your own side.
A snoring.
Oh God, I want to get married again so bad. Oh, sorry. 542 with Pete's tweets. Kimber Pete and the Founder. Now let me ask you this: the House has passed a bill. There was a lot of talk about adding the fact that women would be automatically available for the draft. The current draft law says men between 18 and 25, when they become 18, are supposed to register for selective service. There is no draft, but even the law today says when you turn 18, you have to register for the selective service. You have to go down there and sign up. There is no draft, so it's, so far not going to be any big deal. However, there was debate in Congress, and so far it's not in there, but this isn't going to be the final version passed here. The debate in Congress was whether to allow women to be eligible for selective service and the draft. Well, under the Babylon Bee talked about a local guy named Harry Bonds who said chopped his nuts off and changed his name to Maxine to avoid the draft, only to find out they may be putting women back in there anyway. He said, boy, do I feel stupid. Really wish I hadn't cut my schlong off now. He got his registration for selective service, quickly realized he could avoid any chance of being drafted if he simply said he was a chick. Man, did this backfire. Anyway, now let me ask you this. Do you think we should have a mandatory government service? If there's no military draft, but should there be a draft of Americans like they do in Israel? Women too go into everybody goes into the military. Switzerland has an army service. Yeah. Now I'm not sure. Well, I don't think we should have a mandatory military service in America. Unfortunately, now because of the political state of the country.
Right.
So I mean, if we had a trustworthy system where this kind of stuff that's been going on for 8 years wouldn't happen, I'd say I'd be all for it. But under these circumstances, I couldn't trust that system.
If the Democrats got a draft right now and they had a certain amount of people, our troops would be in Ukraine right now dying for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not trustworthy. Now, how do you feel about mandatory service of any other kind, like Peace Corps or building homes for humanity or something?
Well, you could choose.
Yeah,
they give you like several things that you could choose from the Peace Corps to picking up trash in the parks or something, or cleaning up the rivers or whatever,
or even things if smart Alex and the nerds and stuff give a year of your time to help old people fill out their tax forms or to help kids learn computer science. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that you you could do to help American citizens as a public service for a year of your time, and maybe get rewarded for getting money off your college debts or something, or
how about this?
Or help for your housing coming up, or car notes. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that can be done to help America and help the people who do it.
It's mandatory for half a year, and if you want to keep doing it, you turn out you like it, you'll get a little stipend.
Yeah.
You'll get paid a little bit for the second half of that year, and you can actually keep doing it if you want to do it.
Well,
and they can pay you a little bit.
I think there's a lot. Of course, Jack Kennedy started the Peace Corps service, and that was extremely successful. But again, I think mandatory service to your country, as long as it's not mandatory military and mandatory women going into foxholes or fighting holes, I think is a perfectly legitimate thing to do. And by the way, who wouldn't? I wish I had a break between 18 and 19 years old when I got out of prep school. I wasn't ready for college. I was definitely not.
Neither was I.
I flunked out of 2 colleges before I went into Marines. So, anyway.
It's a waste of money.
546. Give Pete and Flout here on 106.3. There you go. Like The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Is there any truth to the saying that better the devil you know than the devil you don't know? You know Trump. You know he's a big mouth. You also know he's decisive and loves America. The devil you know. Joe Biden? You don't even know who's yanking his chain right now. The devil you don't know. Think about it.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, it's Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Cub Cadet. The move to a zero-turn lawnmower is an exciting one for any homeowner. And if you're looking to step up from your current machine, a zero-turn mower from Cub Cadet and Howard Brothers is a great place to start. Ask yourself if saving time, sidestepping obstacles, and improving your overall mowing experience sounds like a step up from your current situation. If so, be sure to check out the full Cub Cadet line of innovative zero turns. Cub Cadet is sold at Howard Brothers locations in Alpharetta, Athens, Dorval, Duluth, Lula, and Oakwood. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Howard Brothers and Cub Cadet.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Hey sandwich lovers, today's your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub-Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
At Nelson Elder Care Law, we understand that family's everything. That's why we prioritize your family's future with personalized asset protection solutions. Call us today to schedule your legacy planning meeting and discover how our team can tailor our services to meet your family's unique needs, ensuring a secure and worry-free future. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
Don't miss the Atlanta Mushroom Festival, Sunday, June 23rd at Park Tavern in Piedmont Park. Beginning at 12 p.m. and ending at 7 p.m., this dog and family-friendly event features live music, educational speakers from the CDC and Emory, and over 30 mushroom-themed vendors. Early bird tickets are only $10, which directly supports the nonprofit festival. For more information, visit AtlantaMushroomFestival.com or Atlanta Mushroom Festival on all social platforms.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to The Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
If you notice any cracks in your foundation, they are not going to go away. They need to be addressed as soon as possible to reduce additional costs that come with repair. Ramjack is the best company in the industry for repairing your foundation. We have the highest quality products in the nation. So, if you are experiencing foundation problems, please contact us at ramjack.com/Atlanta or call us at 770-502-8881. That's 770-502-8881.
Here we go. My gang, ABBA. I love ABBA. This day, 1977, ABBA gave a special live performance in Stockholm for Sweden's King Carl XVI Gustaf and Sylvia Sommerlath on the eve of their wedding. In Sweden, ABBA. I always loved ABBA. I have a lot of their songs on my Magic Music Stick, thanks to Flounder.
This is my favorite ABBA song.
This is your favorite song, really? I've Waterloo. Yeah. I got a whole bunch of them. And by the way, Flounder, I thought that the name of that song of the Miranda Lambert I was thinking of is called "The House That Built Me." I remember it being a beautifully sad song about remembering your childhood and so forth. Just kind of a tearjerker. And speaking of that, I remembered another tearjerker song. I'm going to have these two put on my Magic Stick because once in a while I just love there's a song called Love, Me, Love Me by Colin Ray, I think his name is, R-A-Y-E, I believe. Colin Ray, Love Me. And it's the story of coming across his late grandfather's trunk or something and finding a letter that the grandfather wrote to the grandmother when they weren't supposed to be together and they sneaked off to meet at the old oak tree. I mean, it's just tear your heart out in a happy, loving way. It's one of those sad songs that make you feel better after you feel sad about it. It's a strange. Maybe it's just me because I'm an emotional goof. If you know anything about me, you know that's true. But it's called "Love Me" by Colin Ray, and the other one, "The House That Built Me" by Miranda Lambert. Anyway, those are. If you're looking for a nice sad song that makes you feel better afterwards, those are a couple. But
I'll just play a nice happy song in general.
What's the fun in that?
Well, I bet you should listen to him. You should see what I'm talking about. I guarantee you, if you play that with Veronica, you get Miss Veronica in your car, you title that tune, and you see if she doesn't have her head on your shoulder within like 30 seconds of playing that song.
I will let you know.
I promise. "Love Me" by Colin Ray. There you go. 5:53. I can't believe it already. The camera Flounder. The latest on Justin Timberlake. Now, it's the lead story on Fox News amp. Justin Timberlake pulled over in the early morning hours today after failing to make a stop, failing to stay in his lane, driving down Madison Street in the Hamptons at Sag Harbor, the uppity place. Timberlake performed poorly on all standardized field sobriety tests, according to the arresting officer. He told the cop he'd had one martini, was following friends home. He was taken to the police station, refused a breath test. He listed his occupation as professional and said he's self-employed. He said his friends, when he got pulled over, everybody's saying, let him go, it's Justin Timberlake. And he said the cop was so young he had no idea who he was, never heard the name or anything. So when he put down he's a professional and self-employed, the cop said he had bloodshot, glossy eyes, strong odor of booze coming from his breath, unable to divide attention, a slowed speech, unsteady of foot. He said the breathalyzer test could complicate his legal proceedings, the legal expert said. It's not uncommon individuals arrested on suspicion to refuse a breathalyzer. It can be motivated by various factors, prior advice from counsel and so forth. Such refusal triggers an automatic suspension of the license under implied consent laws. Implicitly consent to sobriety tests when they obtain their license could be used as evidence of guilt. And he'll probably lose his license to drive in New York for a year, but he has another license from out of state, so I'm not sure about the factors I'm trying to look at as we read the thing here. An expert said his decision to refuse a test was a smart choice to safeguard his constitutional rights. When he's detained for suspicion of DUI, you should not submit to the breathalyzer nor the field sobriety standardized test. Provides the investigator with evidence that he or she may not have otherwise. They may seek a warrant to extract blood for examination of your blood alcohol content. Anyway, there's some argument about whether you should ever do it. But again, if you refuse it and they get your license for a year, then what the hell? I mean,
what do they say here in Georgia? Because I thought I heard that too here, that you're not supposed to. You're supposed to say no.
That's what the lawyers say.
And then get a lawyer.
Yeah, but you better get a lawyer because otherwise they're going to take your license for a year. That's my understanding. But again, if you fight it, I think I don't know. Get along. I guess.
Well, the other thing is his mugshot is trending right now, and his eyes look ridiculous.
Oh, his eyes are out there. Ray Giudice has advice for it, but I can't remember if he says do it or not do it.
I think every advice lawyer I've ever heard says don't do it. But I don't know. I mean, I've only been stopped for breathalyzer once, and I passed it. I was coming back from Lake Lanier or Lake Allatoona. Lake Allatoona when I had my boat up there, and I was driving, and they stopped everybody on Sunday. And now maybe they still do it, but back when I had my boat, back in the 90s or 2000, whatever, if you leave the lake, you're going to get pulled over. I mean, they have cops right there to see who's been boat drinking. And so I took a breathalyzer and I passed and went on my way. But
I've never had a breathalyzer. I've been pulled over, and I should have been taken away. But did I ever tell you that in San Diego?
No.
When we first moved out there, I was driving a small car with the Georgia plates on it.
Yeah.
And we left a bar in the middle afternoon, and I'd had too much. And basically, it was a female San Diego County police officer, and she pulled us over, and she was acting really weird the whole time.
Yeah.
And she goes, "You've been drinking?" I said, "Yeah, I have had a few." This is like 1984, okay? 1984. Things were different back then. She goes back and looks at the back tag and comes back. "Okay, I'm going to let you go for one reason. I'm from Decatur."
Decatur, Georgia. In San Diego, a Decatur,
and
Georgia
she says,
girl.
"You go straight home, and I'm going to follow you. And if you don't go straight home..."
Well, good for her. I mean, bad for her. She let you get away with being a drunk driver. On the other hand, she folled you, so that's that was
because she was from Georgia.
Yeah. Well, you should always give special favors to people from Georgia.
Of
That's
course.
what I always say. God,
Totally for that.
Who didn't know that? Anyway. By the way, I heard on the news earlier there's a new company has overtaken Microsoft, or is Microsoft worth more than $3 trillion.
Who?
So
Chinese?
I think in America, Microsoft is worth $3 trillion, and now I think there's another company that just overshot Microsoft's $3 trillion value. I mean, that's just outrageous. $3 trillion in value. I don't know what that means. I mean,
you
seriously,
could literally hand out money to every person on planet Earth.
I don't know what that means. You can buy everybody a car. Cancel all the house notes. My God. I mean, seriously.
Wouldn't you, if you had money like Zuckerberg, wouldn't you set up a thing where you could give people a starter loan for a house or something? Wouldn't you do something nice like that?
Absolutely. Houses, car notes, education, kids, Little League ballparks. I mean, all the things for families.
Dog and cat farm.
For dog and cat, you can buy all the doggies and kitties and get them all spayed and neutered and have them all running all over the place. God, how much fun would that be?
Everybody out. You have 24 hours.
How
Get out.
much freaking fun would that be? Oh, Lord. I miss my doggies again. Oh, my God. Flounders Funnies for Nucky's Hoagies here. Coming up on 5:58 and a half, the Kimmer Pete and Flounder Show.
I was in trouble during the lockdown because I went back to eating Cool Ranch Doritos. That's the right response. It's a perfect chip. I hadn't had one since junior high, but the mad scientists at Frito-Lay cracked the Da Vinci Code right there. Only took them 100,000 ingredients. But I forgot, there's a charge to it. You put a Cool Ranch on your tongue, it's like licking a 9-volt battery. And there's so many chemicals in it, your brain is confused. It's like, is this sex? Like it doesn't know. And I knew things were getting out of control because I was alone on my couch eating a big bag of battery sex chips. And I burped, and when my mouth was open for the burp, I threw in more chips. Just like a weird fat guy multitask. Just like, while we're at it, let's not let this opportunity pass us by.
See, who's that?
That's Pete Holmes.
Is he a fat guy? I didn't think he was a fat guy.
He's not fat, but he's really funny.
Yeah, he is a funny guy. Holy cow, I can't even believe it. Coming up on 6 o'clock, and so the Kimmer, I gotta go, you're killing me, with Pete Davis and Flounder, and go Braves. Ray Christine, baby, sing me home, darling. Herb and Herb.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. Every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on WFOM Marietta, Extra 106.3.